Eamon, kind of an awkward question, but is your last name Connor or Castillo?
It's
Or
Castillo.
Castillo? Is there an Eamon Connor on your organization?
Let me change that. That's my screen name before, but Nija wants me to use my real name.
Yeah,
Okay.
Eamon, he has an alias.
Okay.
Eamon Connors Castillo, but I'd prefer him to
Use
just
my
be
last
Eamon
name.
Castillo.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Honestly, we're a little confused, but that's great. Now we understand. Fine. I think we're all here, right?
Yes, let's get rolling.
Perfect.
But while I'm on the subject of National Grid, I just saw the email. My email went down today and it only came up 10 minutes ago. So I missed everything from like 11 o'clock till 2:15. But I saw the correspondence on the National Grid. And the reason that we have only estimated bills is because we do not have an electric meter for the house panel in the closet for C. So when they came and they did all the electrical work, for some reason, they did not put a meter in because I don't think there was one there before, perhaps. Maybe something happened to the meter. Don't know, but there was no meter in there. And that was brought up to me when I had seen it, when we had the electrical work done, and they
did for this current billing period, which has say $250, and it shows a past due amount of $250 roughly. What they did for July estimate was go back to July a year ago and approximate that. But remember what was happening July, August, September a year ago. Kim had the car that was a hybrid and was being plugged into the garage, and we saw the electric use in building C jump considerably because of that. So it looks like we do need, I don't know how they can go back
I don't think
for
they can.
10 months.
I don't know
either.
what they'll do. How much is the bill for that, just that, the building C
Well, the current one is $257.
for 1 month?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Because again, the other months from October through June were higher than any of the other 4 buildings. And it's hard to account for how much the streetlights would add because the streetlights are on this building C.
that's correct.
But again, it appears that the National Grid estimated the July bill based upon July a year ago. So absent a
You're not a
new,
nice man.
absent a new meter, it's likely the August bill will also be based on the actual August from last year.
Okay,
Mhm.
so, well, so we have, so to answer your question, Nydia, and to continue moving forward with this sort of leads me to the next topic with National Grid, because it's all related. And that is they started emailing the owners of this community several months ago about replacing the electric meters to smart meters. And they've showed up twice. They actually subcontract this to a company called UPA, who I've now met with twice because I did not let them do it. Because of the method they were gonna use and that none of the owners had notice of it. You know, you don't wanna just let people come in here and start pulling out meters and putting in meters. Especially where they were going to do it under load. They were not gonna be disconnecting the main breaker for each unit. They were just gonna pull out the meter and pop in a new meter, and that's a no-no, actually. It's not recommended. You can get a big arc. You can damage the brand new equipment that we just put in. I did confirm with our resident electrical engineer who works for the National Grid. Was it National Grid or did he work for
Eversource.
Maybe work for Eversource. So yes, we are quite certain that we can't just have them pulling out meters and putting them in without having the breakers turned off, which we're willing to do for them. But that being said, they gave me a card when they came a few days ago to do this. And the card gives me it appears to show that this may be voluntary and not mandatory to replace these meters to smart meters. Smart meters have some advantages, mostly for the electric company, where they don't have to come out and read them. They can read them remotely. And they can, you know, you actually, as a homeowner, you can actually log in and see what your usage has been, which might be really handy for you going forward. We can track our own usage. And we're also supposedly get, you know, more timely information about our meter being down. However, it does appear that it may be voluntary. So because of that, I didn't know if I have the authority to tell all the unit owners here that we're going to be replacing their meters when some of them may choose not to. It does appear that if you don't do it, there will be an upcharge in the rate. Whether in the rate or the bill, somehow they're going to charge more for it. They certainly want you to do it. So I didn't know if you had run into this already with other developments and how you suggest we move forward, you know, whether we should just do them all and let our owners know that we're going to do it, or we need their cooperation and approval.
Well, I ran into it in a property in Hull, and I ran into it in a property, this was National Grid, in a property in Hingham. And all the unit owners got this, not all, but you know, if it was time to change the meter, because I guess they're only good for, I think, 7 years. I think it's 7 or 10, I can't remember which one, but if they got the card, then they would have a choice to be able to do it or not. And then with those specific properties, if they wanted us to be there, we would do that. But the whole system would go down for them when they worked on that particular unit.
Right, well, basically, it's a
For that hour.
process. It shouldn't take it should be less than 10 minutes per unit. But you do want to make sure that unit owners, if they have any sensitive electronics, I actually had a chance to chat with the UPA guy that does this, and he said, you know, people that do a lot of gaming, I'm guessing there's probably not too many here.
I never know.
But people that do a lot of gaming, they're very sensitive. These PlayStation units and laptop computers can be sensitive to turning things on and off. So we would want to give them a letter in advance, letting them know what's advisable to do
Yeah.
before we shut the power off for 10 minutes and turn it back on.
Question, let's say building C, they show, I live in building C, Nydia and
Yeah.
Eamon. And let's say I want to opt into this program, but there are 7 other residents in building C. So does that mean when they shut the power off to swap out my meter to a smart meter, it would affect the other 7 people that would
No.
lose their power?
Nope.
No,
Each individual
no.
unit has its own master breaker,
Okay,
and they would shut off the master breaker just to your unit. They pull the
Okay.
meter out, put it back in, and turn your master breaker
Okay.
on. So each unit should only be down, honestly, it could only be 5 minutes or 3 minutes, but
okay.
it would be certainly under 10 minutes unless something went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my understanding it's not discretionary. From the correspondence that was sent out that I received from National Grid, I thought it was a mandatory update for all National Grid users.
I didn't know.
Well, this is what they left me with, was this card. You may have seen this
Yeah.
already, Nydia. But it
If
did
you want to
say-
send that to me, I can, if you want to take a picture and just send it to my cell,
I
I
can
could
do
see if it's the similar ones that we received for Hingham and Hull.
Well, what it does say, I can do that. I don't have your cell number.
I can
Uh,
give it to you.
but I'm welcome to, I'm happy to send this
think they
card
sent
to you,
an
but what
email.
it does say on the card
Yeah, I-
is there's a few
I've
check
ignored it.
boxes. One of the check boxes says, if you want to opt out, remember opting out will result in future service charges. To confirm your decision, you need to call and let them know that you want to opt out, which is probably a very
Oh, so it's an
unpleasant
automatic
process.
opt-in.
Yeah,
If you do nothing, you're
Right.
automatically
but they,
enrolled.
Yes.
basically, they penalize you
Yeah.
if you
Right,
don't do it though.
so I don't know if you know, what the proper way to move forward with this is. I don't know that there would be a negative to a unit owner by having this. Oh, actually, there is one potential negative that was brought to my attention by Chris. He said one negative is they can actually turn your power off remotely. So if somebody doesn't pay their electric bill, they don't have to send somebody out here to
Yeah.
kill it, they can kill it remotely.
Yeah.
That's the main reason they're doing this.
Yeah, I don't think they can do that in Massachusetts during the winter, those winter seasons. But what I did hear and what I did ask was if there was too much usage, let's say like in a summer month, for like AC or something like that, they can monitor that. So that is my only concern, that I would probably opt out of it, just
Well, I
knowing
don't
that someone
care.
has full control.
Well,
Yeah.
why would we care if they
That's
monitor the electrical
Yeah.
usage?
Because if they monitor it, they're monitoring because they want to control like too much usage or whatever.
Well, if I just,
How are they?
but
Okay.
I have an EV. I'm the only one in the complex, I believe, with an electric car. And it takes a lot of power. I guess if I didn't, it takes 40% of the gas combustion capacity that I would normally have in a car. But now that's transferred from gasoline engine to plugging in my home. So it's an addition to my electrical usage. Okay. So am I going to be penalized because I have opted for an electric vehicle?
No,
I mean,
They
that's a
want the people-
rhetorical
They
question.
want you to have an electrical vehicle. I
That's,
think.
Yeah.
that's probably true.
So how can I restrict people for excessive usage? That's counterintuitive.
I'm just thinking that.
No,
you might
I'm
have something
saying,
with your first gas where they could shut people's power, they could kill people's
Yeah.
power. It may be a really good recovery of people's, in arrears. Perhaps that might be
Yeah.
the whole reason for it. And they don't have to send people out to read your
Yeah,
meter,
they
they
want
can
you
do
to
it. So it's a big, this is obviously a big money saver for them. I just need to know what we should do here, because they've now come twice, and 2 times I've had to send them away nicely.
I've seen them all over the town.
And they want to keep coming and doing it. And,
Utility, something of America.
yes, I had like a 20, that's the guy that you met the other day that
Yeah.
came, we talked for half an hour because he's into cars, so we saw the Lotus and we got into the whole Lotus thing he started taking pictures. Anyway, so,
That's why other reason our electric bills are so high,
yeah.
is spending more time on non-business stuff.
Right, so, it sounds like you're not really sure, Nydia, if we can just go ahead and authorize everybody to do it, or if we need individual owners to opt in.
I think
Well,
it's the individual owners, because I asked them to do the entire building. Would they want to do the entire building? But I would need to get permission from each of the unit owners. So
Okay,
if you want to send me that card, I can give you my cell phone right now, and just take a picture of it and send it over to me. And then we can call, either Eamon, myself, or Mary Ann can call. Now, do you know that every single person received that in the building?
no, the only one that received this card was me. Nobody in the building, the only thing that they would have received would have been, I'm not sure if there was a letter that National Grid sent to each owner,
I
or
got-
maybe an
I
email.
got it.
You get it with the bill,
Okay, it's part of the bill.
part of the
Okay,
bill.
so I would assume
Yeah, it's been a letter.
everybody's received notice whether they've seen it or not.
Have you, Kevin?
No, I haven't seen
I
it.
thought it was
I
an
get,
email,
I
but
get
it
it,
probably was a letter.
Yeah,
get it
I think
on-
I got an
I
email.
get it through an email, but I didn't see any letter about
Yeah,
it.
So maybe we
card
want to
that-
send a letter to all the unit owners and with the same thing that we're going to, that National Grid wants to do this. They want to go with it's called the smart meter.
I've got a pamphlet.
And,
about that, but I-
We need them to let us know if they don't want it done. And I mean, if we make them all opt in, that's gonna, you'll be chasing them for years, I think, if we, as opposed to just giving them an opt out to let you know that they don't want to do it. That sound reasonable to people?
Well, I think this is a decision between the homeowner, the condo owner, and the utility.
I totally agree.
And I don't know if we want to get in the middle of it. We can put out a communication that says, do you know this is going on? If you have interest, contact the utility. If you don't want to do it, you know, whatever let the,
Well, they're gonna
Let
keep
them talk.
showing up is the problem. They're just
Yeah.
gonna keep coming and coming and coming, and they're all not gonna get into the electrical closets without. Hopefully, somebody's not gonna say, here's the code to the key box, because there are a lot of people that I think know how to get the key out of that key
Mhm.
box.
But my
Mhm.
understanding, when the guy showed up, he was just, he intended to go into that
He's
closet
gonna do
and
it,
just do every
Right.
single one right after the other.
right,
So there's no question as to, are you gonna have one? Are you gonna have one? Are you gonna-"
Right.
He was just gonna,
right, so
Every single
somehow
one.
they feel that they've gotten approval to do it. I've not given it to them unless Heinz Feed has given them approval.
I think it's an opt-out thing. You're gonna do it unless you've notified them you don't want it.
I think I did. I think whatever correspondence came to me, I think I responded, no, thank you. You know,
It may not be.
I
the
just
way-
I
sent
guess
you
we
the
need-
email, Kevin, if you.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to inform the unit owners that this is happening
Yep.
and that it is their option to opt in or not, and
That's
to reach out to their utility company with their account number to
So
give them
the
those.
reason I'm not a fan of that, and the only reason, I like the idea of it, that makes good sense. But the problem is going to be 40 times or 42 times, because we've got 36 units plus the house panels. So it's actually 5 more, so it's 41 times. Rest assured, I'm gonna have somebody knocking up my door, asking for me to take them to the electrical closet, and we don't wanna let them do it without disengaging the breaker, which they will not do, because it's not their property. Somebody has to do that for them. That's why they do it. They just pull it out and pop it in without shutting anything off, which is not ideal. So we don't want to do that. So that means 41 times I'm gonna have to go and do this with these people. And that is not reasonable, in my opinion.
Well, no, that's fine. So, the properties that I've done this to has been the other company that is more concierge-y. And what we did is we actually, anyone that got that letter, that, you know, they get a letter and then they were getting this small little card. And what we did is we asked them, do you want this done? Yes or no? We kept track of it. We kind of managed that for them. And then we scheduled the specific day. That was extremely frustrating because they kept canceling, rescheduling. It was quite an ordeal at both locations. And then once we did finalize a date, then we had someone on site knowing who did it, who didn't. And then we worked with them on that.
Well, at least the idea of that is good, because I think that we want to make our residents aware of the precautionary things they need to do before the meter gets pulled on their, that they need to disconnect their sensitive electronics. And again, that's not something that National Grid just provides. It's something that you kind of have to do your homework on and let them know. That way we're not responsible as a board for somebody having an issue when we didn't tell them.
But the problem is, they just showed up like the other day.
Right, but they're
They
not
didn't-
good, but they can't get in without the key
Right.
unless somebody just gives them the key. So.
And I mean, if we have the name of that, of the organization that's coming out, that they have contracted, we can reach out to them ourselves and just explain to them that we're going to find out who wants to do it or not, and don't keep coming out to the property. You're not allowed to come out to the property.
I think
What is the
you could
best
try that.
practice?
I don't know how effective that's going to be. I think it's, that may or may not work.
So what is the
they're
best
they're
practice?
wasting their time if they don't have
I
access.
think-
Why would they come here if they didn't have
Yeah.
access to the thing?
Yeah.
I think that, well, they don't necessarily know that, and they think somebody's gonna hand them over a key. I mean, it's a good idea to replace these meters, although these meters were probably replaced. I don't know if these were all new meters replaced just a year ago. Or if they used the existing, they probably,
I
They're-
do
they're
remember
probably new meters, but I'm
about
not
3 or
sure.
4 years ago, they did go through because of that 7 year expiration date that Nydia referred to. I think it was 7 years.
I think it is 7 years.
They had to replace all the
So
meters.
from a safety standpoint, I like the idea of it. It makes people safer, you know, if there's an issue when they pull out a meter, I'd like, you know, somebody will be there to look at the receptacle that it plugs into to make sure that everything looks good there. I mean, it's good PM, especially when we just had all these replaced just a matter of 7 or 8 months ago. So I like the idea of it. I just think we want to do it in one fell swoop.
So you like the idea of mandating it?
So I think what I'd like to do, Nydia, I think I'd like to have a letter sent to the owners about opting in or out. If you feel that we really want to give people the opportunity to opt in, then it's just going to be more work on your end to make sure that everybody gets the communication. And if they don't respond, phone calls may need to be made. Or we can do the opt-out approach as National Grid has obviously done. That's probably why they're just sending the company here to do it, because nobody opted out, you know, and they're just going to do it. But UPA, you know, they don't, when I spoke to him about it, he said, I could schedule it a day or two in advance with UPA, but any more than that has to go through National Grid. So we need to certainly give people, I would assume, once we get the opt-in from whoever's going to do it, and if we do get the opt-in, and I have a list, I can make sure that they only take care of the units that are opting in. I don't think, it's probably, I mean, that's probably the best approach. Somebody's got to be here when they do it. Somebody needs to shut the disconnect off for them, because they will not do it. And then when they put the meter back in, somebody will have to turn the breaker back on. And Chris Mullaney, by the way, did volunteer to assist with that, because he also felt the way I did, very important to make sure that gets shut off. We don't want people pulling out meters, and he works for an electric company.
What unit is Chris in?
7, 6, 5.
I'll look up his name. What's his last name?
No.
Mullaney, Chris Mullaney, Mullaney.
Yes.
He's lower.
He's like
he's
3 or
lower
4.
than
He's
you,
3 or
right?
4. He's 3 or 4.
Oh,
5?
but anyway, so he's gonna,
6.
he's willing to volunteer if, you know, Heinz Feet wants to do it. I just need to make sure that I'm comfortable with Heinz Feet and that they know what they're doing, whoever you may send. It's not complicated, but I want to make sure somebody knows what they're doing.
No, I definitely will probably reach out to Chris, and I would still send Ben or one of my guys, just so that they're familiar with your, you know, your place and your electrical, your circuit breakers and things like that. Just
Yeah,
so
so
they can be familiar.
I'd like to know who you're thinking of sending and what their background is in electrical. But I think that don't reach out to Chris, please just connect with me
Yeah.
and I connect with Chris. I'd rather that way I know what's going on. Reach out to Chris. I have a direct connection with him via text, and we work together on the project. So I think, I guess to move forward, we just need to know if I think just sending a letter, having Heinz Feet send a letter to everybody, making them aware that the electric company wants to change out the meters, and we need approval from everybody to do it. And could they, you know, however, I don't know if you want to set up a form for people to use, so you can get it.
We'll set up we'll just do an Excel spreadsheet, and I'll have Eamon take care of that. But I really need that card, or if you guys have the letter, that would be ideal, because I want to be able to quote that information that's in there.
Okay, so
Maybe it's Ralph. I have the email right here. I'll forward it to you right now.
Perfect. That would really help us. I like to use their lingo.
Sure.
right, but yeah, just, you know, UPA will not book more than a couple days in advance. When I had a conversation with them, and we certainly want to, you know, once you get everybody's approval and we have that list, then we want to send another letter to all the owners, giving them instructions as to what they need to do to prepare and exactly when we're going to do it. So I think a couple of weeks' notice would be nice. So it's a 2-step process. First, we get all their approvals. Then after the approvals, then we can set up a date, hopefully a couple weeks out. And then we can send an email giving everybody instruction on what they need to do to prepare. And I'm gonna send you this card right now, so you have
System
it right now.
Yes. June 9th.
June 9th.
Yeah,
Oh, you've got it too.
yeah,
Um,
June 9th.
All
Eamon,
right.
if you could put this on your task list to do, and Nyreen has joined us. Nyreen, if you want to say hello.
And Nydia, what
Hello.
number would you like me to text this to?
You can text it to my cell phone, which is 816-738-4585.
816-738-4585. I'm gonna send it right now. Just make sure you received
Okay,
it.
let me just take a look.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Ralph, is it from National Grid?
Yes, June 9th.
And also, if you don't mind, Nydia, if you guys draft this letter before you send it to all the residents, could you
I'll
just
send
send
it
it to the board so we can take a peek at it first?
Sure,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Nyreen, I'll explain a little bit more after. I don't want to take the time now, so that you can work with this with Eamon. It's a small project regarding a electrical meter upgrade. Okay,
We do have people that can walk with them. It's a one-day thing. We can find people that can do it. But if you're welcome to send somebody that they want to kind of learn the ropes, that's fine. I'm happy to show them what they need to know. All right, so that just went through.
let me just take a look. I got it.
Okay, great. Okay, can we move forward to the acceptance of the June 23rd meeting minutes?
So move.
Seconded? Second?
Discussion?
I agree.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Approved.
Wish we'd go through everything that fast.
Yeah, well, kind of make up for some lost time already. Let's jump into the treasurer's report.
Okay, had exchanged a couple emails with Nydia about this because we're still. Some items haven't been corrected. For instance, on the balance sheet, you'll see that the coastal CD maturity. Still reflects May 29th, 2024, and that currently is going to mature at the end of this week on July 29th. Similarly, the Avidia Bank did renew on April 5th, 2025, and that has not been updated to reflect the new date either. So we'll address that at the next the July.
Yeah, do you guys send to our office to Monica the CDs, all the statements?
I've done that in the past. Sent it to Danielle. I've taken a
Okay.
picture of it and emailed it to her.
Would you be able to send it, Ralph, to the generic the catch-all email?
For the new one that's coming up, I will, because there's, like I say, it's maturing on July 29th, so there's no sense. I'll send it when the CD matures and rolls over with the new interest rate and the new maturity date. Also, I think, kind of getting into the accruals too. I believe it's my understanding from Danielle that the interest on CDs is only recognized and recorded in our financial statements upon a CD renewal, when the interest is posted on that. As typical with a CD, you go in and you update your balance. So that those have not been being accrued on the CDs.
Okay, so I didn't have a chance to touch base again with Monica, but I just want to make sure that she is getting those from Danielle, because I went through her emails and I didn't see anything being forwarded to our accounting team. So I don't know if that really happened, but I have to check, number one. Number two is, once you get those, if it be quarterly or monthly, those CD statements, Whatever amount you accrued that month should show in those financials. You don't have to wait till the end of the year. You don't have to,
Lydia, I've said, I'm sorry to cut you off, I've said, I don't wanna do accruals. They've been missed in the past, they're too confusing. Because for instance, the condo fees, the income has been accrued every month, yet we have over probably close to $3,000 in past due. So to the user of the financials, it appears that our income is higher than it actually is. Because for a simple little operation, I've said this to Danielle countless times, I only care about the accruals at the end of the fiscal year. So that we can be sure that all the expenses budgeted for the current fiscal year are accounted for in the current fiscal year. In the
Okay.
past, we had bills that were budgeted for one fiscal year, yet they don't get paid until the next fiscal year, and that upsets the expense budget for the following year.
what I was talking about was your CD statements, but I do understand that you don't want to do accrual, you want to do cash, and we can go back to the cash basis. I will make sure to talk to Monica and Kathleen about that. And I might have to put you into a phone call with them if that's okay with you. My thing is that I'm not 100% sure that anything that you conveyed to Danielle was shared with the accounting and the bookkeepers.
I don't know.
Exactly. So I need to, we just need to get this straightened up as of July, like you said, and not go back, but just go forward.
Right.
Okay.
Again, the budget for the condo fee income has gone back and forth like a little bouncing ball. And it's still incorrect in the June financials. The annual budget should be 177, and somehow keeps reverting to 186. I don't know how those changes are being made, but
What's it reverting to, please?
it to the incorrect amount of 186. That was
Okay, yeah.
documented in the minutes
Yep.
for last month
Right.
also. So the monthly budget should be 14,750.
So they need approval by.
Okay.
the board to do any sort of-
14,750, it shouldn't be the 186K a year, it should be the
And that was
177.
included in the email, embedded email from June sometime that I forwarded to you the other day with the email addressing some of the June issues.
Okay,
This again, all I have to do is keep copying and pasting this because it's been such a chronic issue. The condo fee income bouncing back and forth. The landscaping and snow removal was not unexpected. It's higher than the budget for the month because we paid Curran 2 bills, the regular mowing, $2,400, and the mulch. I meant to go back and look at the mulching contract because they charged us $5,740. And there's no description on the invoice as to how much mulch they provided. But I believe, if recollection serves, that the budgeted amount, or excuse me, not the budget, the contract amount for mulch is far less than that. And remember, it was a contract originally with CMAC that was transferred to Curran. So that's an item for review.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
not
that's
sure.
true, that's true.
For some reason, I thought I looked at that previously and it was correct, but I could be wrong. But I certainly have the contract that has the amounts. It's actually spelled out, so we can look it up.
okay. Eamon, could you find that for me
Inside there's no-
in the interim of us moving on? Could you find that for me?
Did you check the bulkhead? Was the bulkhead?
It's-
Again, with
For-
the invoice is paid, I don't think we need to take the time during this meeting, like I
No,
said.
no, I just want Eamon to do it on the side.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And Rich
Okay.
and I can look at it on our side too, and then next month, or for the next monthly meeting, we can
Okay.
address that. Otherwise, there's no other unusual expenses. Insurance bills for director and officer and umbrella were paid. And they were very close to what had been budgeted. The only difference is the timing of what's in the budget versus the timing of the payments, but on an annual basis, the insurance will be fine.
And how much was that? we paid?
The umbrella was 2,267,
Were you able to add?
and the D&O was 1,650.
Mhm.
Which is very.
I'll go through the cash.
Yeah,
flow
okay,
later.
okay.
too.
Extension, needed a downspout extension.
There's no other issues financially to bring about, other than we can get into the delinquency now, perhaps.
I
Um,
think, I don't know, I appreciate that you did what you did, that,
Yeah.
but we tend to do that, and then,
No,
and then
the
just
other thing is-
communicate with.
in
the
terms of
board
what,
and
do
everything.
that meaning what,
Sending
Nydia?
letters to the.
When you sent the certified letter, those are things that we, actually, it's on our contract to do.
Well, it may be, but again, with the transition, I had requested from Danielle several times to be copied on what correspondence had been sent to delinquent homeowners and had never received any. So given the urgency, the
I
pendency,
get it.
the transition, and I don't know how this has to comply with, what's it called, the Fair Debt Collection Practice?
Yeah,
There's,
183A.
Yeah. no, not 183A. This is a federal statute about fair debt collection practice. I can't cite it for you, but I want to get it done. Gave him 30-day demand notice. I can send you a copy of what I send it to both the
Okay.
owners of record of Unit 13B. Happy to pass around if he wants to see it now.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
If we
you
can
know,
have it, we'll upload it to that particular unit, those particular units. And then on a forward basis, Nyreen and Eamon are very familiar with our SOP process. So we can, we'll handle those. We look at those on the 15th and the 30th of every month.
Right.
This was just a very sensitive issue with this particular owner as well, Lydia, so we wanted to be very careful about the language that was used and how it was presented,
No, that's fine. I get it.
okay? It was nothing more than that.
But,
No.
I mean, the net, everyone's current.
No.
And then what's the drop dead date?
Had us on delinquencies. It said
No.
3 people were current.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. I got your copy over here.
So they said us, I think they contributed next to $700 or something.
700, but they're still owe $2,065.
Yeah.
Here's the, this is what was in the,
Yeah, that's what
right.
well,
I will let Nydia know then.
I don't know. I must have.
So,
Yep, okay.
the Backuses are 1 month, and I did have, I don't know if you received anything from, Sam Backus, their daughter, Samantha. Lindsay had come to see me and just explained that her husband Bill had been having some, cognitive issues, and that she was not aware that some of the payments hadn't been made. So they've given power of attorney to their daughter to handle a lot of financial matters. So I believe some payments were made, but they were, as of this date, still due for June 1st.
Okay.
And
It-
Maureen Dinsmore was a month behind too.
Okay, I ran the report,
Right.
the 24th, that's today. So it looks like they're current except for this month.
They,
And-
That's what I saw.
the Nagel,
Yeah.
Which is, I think she is.
Yeah. that's
Oh,
what-
I'm sorry, I didn't see
yeah,
that.
That's what I was
I
referring.
did not see that in the
Yeah.
email. I did not see that. Okay,
So it looks like they pay, like they just owe for July, and then the Dinsmore due too, but
That's pretty good.
Ralph, what's the drop dead date for Jolene?
hold on a second. I'm looking at this report, which again, I'm just seeing now. It's showing that they have not paid. Joella Nagel is showing on this report owes $2,065.64.
I did say that, they didn't pay, it's the other two people you were talking about.
Okay, gotcha. So Backus and Dinsmore have paid, but it says current under tenant status.
It does, yeah.
So I'm confused. There seems to be some.
Okay,
conflict
so
between-
because of the fact that once we send it to collections, once we send it to the attorney, then we change that they're in collections or they're on a payment plan. There's different buttons in Appfolio that we check off.
Okay, can you back up for a
Like amount
second?
receivable, it says
So-
delinquent amount 0.
Are you saying as of today, Bacchus no longer owes the $505?
No, as of today, they owe, if you see that, they owe $505 and
Right.
601.
Right,
is
so
what
we
ends
do
for.
have accounts receivable of 3171.
Right.
Right.
They're just not, it's for July.
July now, gotcha.
Yep.
Right, yeah, because the aged receivable detail that's in the board
the-
packet.
Yeah, that's older.
Right, okay. So there we go.
No, that's okay. What is the drop dead date on that letter that you
It
gave her?
was mailed
30
on
days?
July 11th and I gave them 30 days.
So she has to be compliant by August 12th. Okay,
Yeah, August 11th would be the drop dead date, I would say.
okay.
Go ahead and go to collections if we don't receive payment then, or should we wanted to check with us?
I would prefer verify, validate, and give
So yes.
approval on that date.
Okay, so before going forward to collections, Nydia, please reach out to us. so we can
Absolutely.
stop it.
Just as
We
aside,
get fees, and I don't want to,
I've
I
been
don't
here for 10
charge
years.
legal fees if they don't need them.
I understand that in the history, the 30 some odd year history of this community, we've never had to go to collections before.
I've never been aware of much, yeah.
Well, a lot of rumors bouncing around about their status, and that may be on the market before you know it too.
We'll never know.
That's what according to one of the owners said, they're
Yeah.
gonna sell it, so
The older or the younger?
the younger.
Well. Maybe. Okay,
Anyway, in the meantime, we still have $2,000 from them. That's puts a crimp in our budget because the budget is X dollars in, X dollars out. There's no profit, if you will.
Mhm.
and only because we're on this topic of arrears, Nydia, I just want to jump real quick to, the bottom, number 14. This actually came up once before where, a 6D was approved by, it may have been Wilson at the time, not Heinz Street, when they really there was money owed with things that were not done. I think it was things that were not done to the unit that needed to be done before the 6D was provided. So unit 35E is on the market.
Yep.
And they're going to be asking you for a 6D certificate, probably at some point, maybe sooner than later, don't know. Not under agreement yet, but it's a pretty darn
Can I-
nice.
Yeah. Can I tell you a new policy that we put into place just a couple of weeks ago? And that was once someone requests a 6D, and they have to go through HomeWise to get that. Crystal will be reaching out to the boards to
Okay.
let them know. We felt that was important. I don't know if that's the direction you were going
That's
towards.
what we've asked a couple of
Right, but
times.
yeah, we want to make, because this is rather unique, there's a generator in that unit that was grandfathered in. And in order to provide a 6D, the new buyers have to prove that they've been properly trained on the use of the generator, from a safety standpoint and training. It's in our rules and regulations.
It's a recorded document, correct? Rich?
I don't know if it's.
I don't think so.
I don't think we have it's just, there's language in the rules and regulations that specify that. That those units prior to a 6D being issued, the new buyers have to have gone through. Training on safety and use. Now,
Okay,
I don't get into the extensiveness of that. I
No, but
don't-
that's a closing requirement that would be for the attorney. In other words, to release the 6D,
Right,
that has to be signed and provided to the closing.
right. So we just want to make sure that you don't inadvertently give a 6D because, they don't owe anything. We want to make sure that this new person, because, there's only a couple people in here that have these generators and there are some concerns about safety. So we just want to make sure that that one doesn't slip through the cracks.
there is a way that we can flag those in Appfolio. Is there any way you can give that list to me, and is there a formal document
It's
There
just
would
one unit 35E.
Two, isn't there two?
Well, there's two, but the other one's not for sale, so
No,
So
but what is it so we can flag that unit
it's
in the future?
35E, and is it 29?
Yes.
Is it the
29.
McHugh's?
Yeah, it is.
29 and 35E. Well, 29D and
Yeah,
35E.
29 and 35.
Yeah, right.
29D as in dog and then 35E as in,
Elephant.
Have generated.
okay.
Right.
We can flag those in the system, but is there a formal document that they need to sign?
No, this is, they have to prove that the new owners that are buying have gone through safety training. There is no form. There should be a form. That would be a really good way to do it. What's the proof of training that we require? It's sort of,
Right.
but as a board, we want to make sure that it was properly done, something that's reasonable.
The example, I guess, would be the awnings that people install on their decks. And when someone installs an awning, we actually have to go to a law firm to get whatever that covenant type
Right, right.
document is,
It goes on the deed, you gotta go to
Yeah, and
the,
it gets recorded.
gets
Right, yeah.
recorded. Now, I don't believe we did that for portable generators.
And I'd have gone to that extreme.
Cause there's only two of them.
There's only two of them.
Right. Would you guys mind if I had Crystal just compile something to send over to you? So then we could send that to the attorney prior to releasing that 6D that they have to sign it?
Yeah, you could do that, and also if you poll, if you look at the meeting minutes, I'm sorry, if you look at the rules and regulations,
Okay.
I can tell you where it is to try to save you some trouble.
Good.
Let me see if I can find it, because I took a picture of it. Not that I rules and regs are that long, but let me see. Here we go. So, 16, it's clause 16 on the rules and regulations. It even notes that there are two units, 29 and 35, last paragraph, that have gas-fired units, that they're grandfathered in for their generators. And what it says is, at the time that the unit is sold, the owner must certify, that's an interesting word, certify that the buyers have read and will comply with the Massachusetts Generator Safety Guidelines, and that the new owners have been instructed on the safe operation of the generator. So that, so I guess there's some Massachusetts Generator Safety Guidelines. So that would be if somebody's gonna sign off on something, that would have to be specifically notated in the sign off that they've been properly trained on the Massachusetts Generator Safety Guidelines, but you will see it in the rules and regulations, clause 16.
Okay. I'll speak with Crystal to try to get that together soon, because I'm sure this sale will happen quickly.
Do they have any interest? No.
No,
Well,
it's still-
I've heard yesterday, she reached out to me again for things that she needed, like she wanted to know what the rental policy was, if somebody wanted to rent the unit, because there was somebody on Gilson that's interested,
Oh, yeah.
but they would have to rent it. And I suggested that, she could find that information in the condo doc.
Oh, I know, right?
She's like, if Jody hasn't reached out to you already about it, I thought I would call you.
Mhm.
She's a little frantic.
I said, it's all available
Yeah.
in the condo docs, like our personal assistant these days.
Right, exactly.
Okay, well, thank you for that discussion on that 60, just making you aware, we don't want that to
Alright.
slip through.
Cool.
Was there anything else in the treasurer's
Nope,
report
I'm
or
good.
delinquencies?
Nope.
So we're on number 4, item 4.
Yes, so the seal coating project. I think overall, other than the fact that we've got some marks on the road, I think they did a very good job. And I think it went as smoothly as it could. The downside to this, I saw the letter that you had sent over to the country club, which they were so generous with their time
Yeah,
and
that was nice.
parking lot,
Mm.
is that we are supposed to do this every 2 to 3 years.
Hmm.
And certainly every 3.
I don't think anyone else does it though.
Well, that's in my limited research, that's what it said, 2 to 3 years, and I think that, so I'm not quite sure if that's set in stone, but I think that's what you generally is done.
Mhm.
Even people with their driveways, they should be doing it I don't know if anybody knows more about this than me.
Never did it.
You never
No.
did? You never did?
Not every 2 or 3 years.
The
So
town
that's-
doesn't
that's-
have it on
Never
their
did
road,
it
That's-
anywhere.
I say every 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Okay, well, my question on this was, do we want to put something, is this budgeted, do we have a line item in the budget for seal coating? If we want to, put in a
Was it
percentage,
$13,000?
yes.
There was for this year, but not, we don't budget it every year.
So we don't budget ahead a certain percentage of that every year,
No, I mean, that would be part of putting together the formal
yes.
reserve study,
Right.
right? So you say every.
But that,
3
it's
years.
a pretty good chunk of change. It seems like that might be something we could add to the budget. Maybe we can discuss that in another time.
But we wouldn't be doing it until 2028 at the earliest.
Right, which means we may want to put
You won't
in
be on the board by then.
25, 50, 25% of it or 20% of it.
No, you can't accrue for something like that.
You can't.
Not, well, I mean, no, because that goes, well, accrue's the wrong word. It would be like,
Reserve.
yeah, it would be like putting something in reserve. For instance, say it's gonna spend $1 million on the siding replacement, and it's gonna be 25 years. Every year you allocate $40,000 into reserve for that.
Right,
So you could do that in
That's what I
terms
mean.
of building up. Right now, we're putting in $24,000 a year in general. We don't have anything targeted except what's in the current year budget. For instance, the paving, the window wells, the brick walkways.
right.
But you always want a cushion because some things come out of the blue. Or they cost more than you expect, or we're
Right.
gonna, you inspect the window wells and you say, geez, we only thought there was 6, there's 12, whatever the numbers are.
Okay, so I guess
No, but your
Yeah.
point is well
it
taken,
just seemed like that would make
Yeah.
some sense. So
but it's just then determining the schedule and making an estimate,
right,
but.
so maybe we need to do some work on that. Are you familiar with that, Nydia? How
Yeah, I
often
mean, if
roads
you,
should be sealed?
it would go under like a capital project, just like he said.
Right, but are you familiar with how often it's, is appropriate to be resealing roadways and driveways?
Most communities don't do them that often at all. That's why I'm surprised that you did. Because I saw back that you had done it, I think 3 or 4 years ago.
Well, we hadn't, it was, the road was installed, how many years ago? 4 years ago? I think? Right, and they recommended it, that the paving company that installed the road suggested 2 years. And
That's like asking a barber, how
Yeah,
often you
yeah.
should get your haircut though? Every
So-
6.
No, most communities, it's 5 to 7 years. So it depends how bad it looks. Sometimes they
Okay.
do it and they do
All
a
right,
great
I
job.
guess-
and it
I
lasts a
think
long-
Richard's got a fetish about roadways.
I think so.
yeah, that's what I think about at night.
You wanna be the project manager.
It
All right,
does
so-
look nice though.
So anyways, it's done. I think it looks so much better than it did.
Yep.
So we made good progress with that. It's finished. We can put that behind us. The irrigation and well pump commissioning, Kevin probably has something he can share on this. I mean, the well pump was commissioned. You guys were able to get that done. They've recently come and done their mid-year eval of the 2 pumps. And Eamon, I don't know if you heard back from the pump company on that to see what their findings were.
Amen. Amen, can you put yourself off of mute? Sorry.
I had reached out to Eamon a few days ago and for him to check with the pump company just to find out what their findings were.
Have they replied back yet, Amen? I didn't think so, when we
okay.
spoke about it this morning.
All
Yeah,
right, so
but
anyway,
not for me yet.
looks like we were having a lot of problems with low pressure in many areas. And we actually had New England Irrigation come out and, do some things, which I'm told didn't really get it done. But when we had some electrical work done on Garage D, I happened to take a peek into the electrical closet where the pump circuit breakers were, and one of the breakers had been tripped.
Hmm.
So it looks like we've only been running on 1 pump and not 2. And since I reset that breaker, as far as I know, it stayed on, it didn't trip again, I haven't checked it recently.
Seemed fine, I looked at them
Yeah.
this morning.
Oh,
the
you
ones-
did?
the-
Did
Well,
you?
just the ones that were going, that
In-
weren't going.
In my
before.
experience over the years, that's a common problem. with
So it
those
looks
pump
like that-
Circuit breakers. trip.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks like New England Irrigation didn't check the breakers before running around the community trying to solve the problem. I'm not sure what kind of cost we incurred for that, but anyway, things seem to be working pretty well, though 30, 29, and 30. What's the name? Is it Diane who lives in
Diane
what,
Tooten.
30?
Yeah,
She's flagged me a couple times. People are now flagging me on the roads, and
Yeah.
she's got some issues with a couple of heads.
I think there are, I was there the other day when they were on, and I asked Diane, I
Yeah.
said, is everything all right? The only thing that was, there's one, they were complaining about it wasn't getting this area. The reason it's not getting that area is because it go around and it hits the
Right
stein.
in her beds in front of the unit, just the landscaping bed right in front of her unit.
Well, this one is the one over more towards the middle,
Oh,
but it hits the building E sign. You know, those, little-
Yes.
so
Yeah.
he said, well, we could move the head, I think we could
Move
move
the
the
sign.
sign.
that might be a whole lot easier.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
so is that something we can just do, right?
I'll get my
Moving the
shovel
sign?
and
I'll help and do it, I don't know.
shovel.
But the head is also, it's actually going back.
Yeah,
and
it's, the head is going.
So you
it's
get a
just
good
that-
arch.
forth. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think the only other one they were complaining about, and I talked to the irrigation guys a couple times when they were here to check it, is the one in front of Maureen Dinsmore's garden, because it's supposed to shoot further than hers. And it gets tied up in the shrubbery. And so I said, you should just cut all this.
No, this is
And,
important. Everybody
but I
wants
guess
to
they
do it.
talked to the irrigation guy and he said he could put another extension on it to make it higher.
Yes,
But I don't know if that's, I don't know. I haven't been involved at all in this sprinklers.
so Nydia, I'm not sure if you have this, or but this would be helpful, so. When we took care of, at the building D electrical, which I'll get into in a bit. We had, there was a sprinkler head that wasn't working, and Kern was here filling the ditch, and they said that they also get involved with irrigation. And I said, great, can you replace that head that's broken? And he said, sure, and they took care of that, because I guess the guy that was doing our digging is also in the irrigation team. So they took care of that, because they were already here, so it's a, very cost-effective approach to getting things done. But I also reached out recently thinking, what Current is here all the time. I said, maybe we should use them for the minor repairs, because if they're already here and they keep the stuff in their truck, it will take them 15 minutes as opposed to bringing in New England Irrigation.
Who are based in Connecticut.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
That
So,
makes perfect. Can they quote that maybe next year so that you can use them to open and close it?
well, it's an option, and so I had asked them about unit 30. I sent them a couple of pictures after Diane sent them to me. They said, I said, when you guys are here doing the cutting, because they replaced a couple of heads, or check a couple of heads next week, and he said that the cutting team is not the same as the irrigation team. So then what he did is he said, we'd be very interested in being able to handle your irrigation system for you. He said, it's much easier to use one company that does both, as opposed to two separate companies, which actually makes good sense to me.
Well, they also
Well-
have accountability. If they run over the sprinkler head with a
Oh,
heavy lawnmower,
So true.
they own it.
So, he said that he'd be very interested in doing that. And, I guess, I did mention that we would discuss it with the board. I'm personally pretty happy with Curran. I think they've done a very good job since they've taken over for CMAC. But it would be good to have some kind of pricing from New England Irrigation, so we have something to compare with.
Yes, but they've been sole sourced for 30 years.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know anything bad with them, and they seem to know their thing, that they've done a pretty good job, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, at least my experience was, if you get them when they're here, but sometimes they come in and they're out,
Yeah.
and you go, oh, shit,
Yeah.
he's already gone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now you gotta go through the whole thing again.
Does anybody have any real loyalty to them?
Oh,
No.
No.
No, Ralph, didn't your uncle own that company for a while? New England irrigation.
What are you talking about?
One thing, I'm glad we talked about this. I had this experience on the golf course a few days ago. I was in the sixth tee, ready to tee off, and this gusher came out in the bushes, and it was a sprinkler head from our campus. That was just, it wasn't sprinkling anything. It was just volumes of water bubbling out. And I checked it later that day and it had stopped. But in my mind, it may have something to do with the lack of pressure. If you've got, an unfettered sprinkler head just gushing.
It's
that's
possible.
I'm gonna show you where it is.
Yes, I'd like to.
Yeah, I'll show you where it is.
Yeah.
Is it near E?
No, it's up by building A.
Oh, really?
It's up by
Oh,
the sixth tee.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
you
where
have
we
to
did
go all the
all
way
the
up,
grass
okay.
last, was it
Yeah.
where we did the
Kind
grass?
of. It's actually behind Joanne's and Beverly's condo.
We have some of those sticks around in some of the closets that we're using for the snow markings for
I
the
got a
plows.
whole, I got a
We should
hundred.
mark
of them
it.
in my
Yeah, so we
garage.
could maybe mark it.
Yeah.
If
Definitely.
we have a few of them, then we can bring it out. I just didn't know what it costs each time we bring New England irrigation and like to have them come and replace one sprinkler head. It takes them 10 minutes. I mean, are we paying $300 for that?
Well,
So
I
I
mean,
really-
this was wide, the diameter was pretty wide. It probably needs to be capped.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good observation.
Well,
Yeah.
it was
I'll
interrupting my backswing.
Yeah, I did say,
Oh, like
yeah.
I said, how did it
Did you
impact?
take
Oh,
a,
yeah.
did you,
Well, it's
take
nice
a
to-
stroke?
take a
or-
mulligan.
Yeah,
I took a mulligan. Yeah.
Water hazard.
All right,
Yeah.
so anyway, I think overall the irrigation system is now working.
Except for
It's-
one behind my, off my deck, which not a big deal, but there is a.
Well, then we've got two of them now and then
Yeah.
potentially
Is it
one.
a sprinkler head? that
So
needs to
we've
be
got
done?
a few.
I'll show you a video of it. Were you, I thought you would, were you dealing with these guys at all? or-
So
A little.
Yeah, I think.
could you do me a
everybody-
favor, Nydia? Could you get me a price sheet so we know what we're paying New England irrigation? Maybe we want to
Yeah,
try Kirk a little bit.
You
Just
don't
so we
have
know-
anything. I just looked and you don't have a current contract since 2020.
Can you reach out to them and get some kind of a price sheet so we know, how we're gonna be building, what their rates are?
Eamon,
All right,
that's gonna be on
good.
your task list.
You're talking about New England irrigation or
New
you're talking about
England
Carr?
irrigation. I have some pricing from Current already,
Okay.
but I'd like
And
something.
we're
to-
leaning towards current at this point.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of having the same company do it. I guess that
Do you
makes
want,
really
like,
good sense.
But
And then
we don't have a contract right now since 2020, New England area.
Yep.
New England.
So,
But I would like to know what their rates are, so,
Yeah,
they.
so Rich, we'll get an updated price list and contract proposal. And then if you could send me what they sent you, we can put it up on the board appfolio and SharePoint. And then you guys can decide which
Sure.
one you want to go with.
Okay,
And yeah, I mean, if you can contact New England Irrigation and get a price sheet,
Mhm.
opening, closing, maintenance per hour, whatever their charges would be. And
Okay.
just tell them, don't tell them we're thinking of changing, just tell them that we're looking for next year and we're getting proposals.
All right. Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Eamon.
okay, great. So I will do that. So the building D garage electrical repair. That's been completed. That was
Oh, wow, really?
quite an
That was
ordeal.
a big project.
Yeah, and
That was quite an ordeal. I know you guys weren't really involved in that over at Heinz Street, but it was an ordeal.
so the question is Bruce happy?
I've not heard it. Bruce and Mark appear to be happy.
Haven't seen.
I've been playing a lot of pickleball with Mark and he hasn't thrown his paddle at me or hit me in the
Okay.
face with the ball or anything. He's an exceptional pickleball player, by the way.
Okay, that
I
one's,
think that problem is resolved, although, I think we're gonna need to spend some more money on it because I am doubtful that lawn is gonna come up well the way it is. I think we're probably going to maybe in the fall have to have it, hydro seeded. And I'm really not sure the cost associated with that. So there will be some added costs, but the total cost for that project. That we had Curran had to come and do the ditch work and we had to have Jamie come and do the electrical work. And the total. Was $6,130
I've got a different amount than that.
You do.
I have the two of the invoices that were sent recently, Nydia and Eamon.
Just gonna
The
look
one
at,
from Jamie Irving. I've got, the invoice date was July
Oh.
12th for $3,025.
Hold on, let me just pull these quotes. I have the quotes, so here's. That's, I'll do Oasis.
Guys, I've done outside work my whole life and when it comes to growing grass, like when I see seed and stuff, it's like, it's painful for me. And so when I see the bare spot over there, I'm like, why didn't we just spend the extra money for sod?
Well-
Sod to me is like,
Understand,
That's a
on
good idea. I mean, that might be something to consider, you know.
I mean, it happened, once you put it down,
Right,
it's
it's
like,
done.
boom, you're not waiting, it
The-
is what it is.
part of the cost on the invoice from Curran, though, it says backfill loam and seed damaged areas.
Oh, yeah,
So-
no, I'm not, yeah, I
They
understand what we
probably
asked,
don't do it
what
till
we asked them
fall.
to provide, I'm just saying,
Um,
looking at it, I'm like. This is gonna be awesome if it comes up, but if it doesn't, now you get a whole year looking at it and sod is up
Invoices I
immediate,
got
like,
recently.
it looks nice.
Um,
And I've used it, I'm cheap and I use it. I mean,
The question I would have is the watering.
This is
The
from Will.
watering is
Will.
always
Right,
This is
you'll
the
see
first
an
one
issue
is
in
from
these.
James.
Someone's gonna
Alright.
hover over it all
Well,
over.
Okay, we
and
charge
some-
an extra $375.
Yeah, and we gotta use somebody
Additional
else's
breakers due to trench
Water
melting.
supply.
Okay,
water
that's true.
supply.
it's the
Handheld.
same thing for the sod and for
I
the.
haven't-
No, I understand.
Growing grass
I understand.
is worse.
When he
Is
finished
it
that,
worse?
he didn't-
I don't
I think so.
thought they were
He's gonna
both.
put them in.
What happens to me is
I
like,
defer, yeah.
I believe me, I've used the seed and the
And then
hydro
you wanna
and
check the
you get one of those
other-
rains
So
like that happened
this
the
one
other
was
day.
34.
All the seeds in one spot,
34,
it's like,
80.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we're 375 over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
So-
have we reconciled? it?
So,
I was
You charge an extra.
I think that,
It's not
that's
huge.
probably a smart,
was
that
what
probably
we
would be a
did.
smart.
Okay.
I wouldn't
So
want to live with that in front of
3025?
my
No.
place.
And-
For
And how much
Jamie,
more
and then
could
we
it be?
had
No,
It's not
Yeah,
gigantic.
34.
I pay for sod and I'm.
34.
Well, it's not that expensive.
Mark and
okay.
Jim Welch, they probably help us with the watering and.
They have been watering, but I've gone over there a few times and I'd be shocked if any grass, I mean, that really.
Oh, no, I
And
mean.
if it does go, it's gonna
if
be
we-
years before it looks good.
No, if we
I'm
put
with you.
something down, if we put down sod or something. then
Yes, they would
I'm
water.
sure they would help. I have sprinklers, I have hoses, I have all that stuff.
When is the best time? Does it
Have
matter
all
when you
of it.
do it?
Any
You gotta
fall.
wait.
Fall.
Okay,
Case you
so,
move back to
so
a
when we get into the
single-family house.
fall, we can
With
adjust
this
that.
perimeter,
Any idea what kind of
about
cost that
400
would be?
feet of it.
No, but again, it's not outrageous.
Okay, so I think that there will be some additional costs. So the $375, the electrical inspector wanted to put some very specific breakers in. And he was supposed to come back and do that, and I don't know that he did it. But
Right,
I'm
we
gonna-
billed us for it.
but he billed it for, so I'm okay
Yeah.
with that price. But in
Okay.
any event, that money was money that we did not have in the budget.
Right.
So it's now like $6,500.
Yeah.
Plus, we're gonna need some money for either hydro seeding or sod later in the year.
can I just go back for one quick second, Ralph, because I'm looking at the seal coating and we have that invoice now. Did you want, right now it's just under maintenance, where did you want that?
That should be through the reserve,
Through the capital reserve, that's what I thought.
capital
Okay.
reserve, through the money market account at Coastal Heritage.
Okay, so I'm gonna change that right now while you guys go on to the next thing, so I don't want
Okay.
this to go through without
Alright,
doing.
so we're moving
Well,
forward.
if you send it to me in an invoice, I'd probably make that comment anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll send it to you right now after I make that change.
Okay.
Okay, so, the unit 29 driveway drainage gate warranty, repair,
Yep.
that was actually originally scheduled to be done today. But it got postponed temporarily. Because Rich and I have been working on on the walkways. We spent a lot of time, he went through it, I went through it, we went through it together. And we came up with what we feel need to be addressed this year. In Oasis came down, we met with him, he is going to take care of. Well, if we don't give him the contract, I'm not sure if he's gonna come and take care, but he said he was gonna take care of the drainage.
Unit
and-
29,
I
okay.
think it should be the
And
other way
redo the
around.
brick.
I should think
I
it should be
know.
the other way around.
I agree. I would have liked to have seen him be here today myself, but when I reached out to him, he said, it doesn't matter. Long
So
story short.
he didn't come today because why?
I gave him when I talked to him, I said, I'm leaning towards going with you versus our other, I didn't tell him who he was quoting against, but.
For the
Walkways.
walkways,
So I
okay.
said to him, this was Tuesday, I think I met with him, I said, I'm thinking of going with you, I have a meeting on Thursday, I'm gonna discuss it with the
Mhm.
guys,
Mhm.
and if it's a go. You'll be over to do the walkways. And I don't know if he suggested it or I suggested it, that he wanted to combine the gate or the grade or whatever it's called.
Grade, yeah.
Work
Yeah,
with the walkways, and I said, that makes sense to me, if you're here, do it. you
it
know?
does, but as someone who's not been involved in this, but just an impartial observer, Tom McHugh and his wife have been incredibly patient
Yeah.
on this problem that they've had with the drainage. And if Oasis shows up in the next few days, great. But if it continues to be dragged out, I feel bad because
I would
apologize.
be, I would be
Yeah.
hesitant to give him the walkways if he doesn't fix them.
yeah.
That's how I would feel, look
Yeah.
at it.
So I just put pressure on the guy to,
We
Well,
spoke.
that's
we
the priority.
spoke
That's-
to- we
that's the
spoke to Mr.
priority.
Walker,
Yep.
and he seemed really sincere about
okay,
making the thing good.
making it right.
He did, except that I can tell you that I think Eamon may have been chasing him with lack of response. He wasn't hearing back.
Yeah,
I think after several attempts. Is that correct, Eamon? You actually reached out to Oasis several times and they just weren't getting
Yeah.
back to you?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm sure that now that he knows that he has this big job ahead of him, he was more anxious to
Carrot.
come take care of
Mhm.
that. Right, he's got a carrot. So in any event, what happened, and he didn't come today. I apologized to Tom.
And I
Okay.
apologize to Rich, not knowing that, you know,
I was
that it was.
I was expecting him
I said,
today.
just get the freaking
All
guy
right,
here.
so on that topic,
Yeah.
okay, so we need to make some decisions. So Rich and I have gone through all these different walkways, and we came up with a list of what we thought was important to get done this year. We both are in agreement on this, and we got a quote from Oasis. So, they quoted, and actually I thought it was pretty darn reasonable. But I believe it was, 7 complete redos, or,
Mhm.
complete.
Pull 'em up.
Pull them up, new bases, putting them back down, making sure that they're pitched properly, 7 of them. And an additional 7-ish or 8 that were gonna be reworked. Some of them were the ones from last year that were done that are now kind of falling
Really?
apart. That was a concern,
Who did them last year?
Oasis. However, in his defense,
Yeah,
what's happening is. They look great when he finished, but the bricks they're passed through the mulch beds. With, you get a mulch bed on each side of the
Yeah.
brick,
yeah,
they separate out because there's nothing that's holding
to
them in.
support it. I think you had that problem, Kevin, didn't you? in
Well,
yours?
bricks,
Yeah.
the bricks are like that way, then there's a brick,
Yeah.
that way along the
Mhm.
sides, but
Correct.
they're all.
So, so part of the rework of the 8 includes a few of them that he's done previously. And what he wants to do is pull up the bricks on the edges and he's gonna cement them down. And Rich did some additional research on that and found that that is supposedly the appropriate way to do it.
Yeah,
So we-
we met with Rich, with Mike, with
Mhm.
Rich, and, told him what we needed, and then I met with Joe Mullen, who's done one of the walkways for someone here, and he's a good guy, and, what I didn't go over with Joe, and then one of the reasons I'm leaning towards Mike is that, 2 reasons. One,
Is
Joe,
Mike Oasis?
Mike
Yeah,
Oasis,
He
I don't know
he-
his
he
last
has done, the work that he's done previously looked really good.
And he said that he wants to use cement on the sides in terms of where the mulch is. And Joe wanted to use the plastic edging that you spike in.
Yeah,
And so that was fine. I actually thought I was gonna go with Joe based on the fact that that
Mhm.
might be better. I Googled it and I got this contractor online that said plastic's not the way to go, cement, and to be honest with you, if these things have lasted as long as they lasted with cement, it's probably a pretty good idea to go with the cement.
I kind of like the cement.
And
Now,
he- and
you know what I'm
he's
thinking
standing
about?
behind it.
The Great Wall of China, Hadrian's Wall, Ephesus in Turkey, the Colosseum in Rome.
Well, who did those?
Those freaking things are still standing
That's true.
and we can't even get a freaking,
All right, here's the other,
Brick walkway.
that was the first thing, the plastic versus the cement edging.
Alright.
Okay, that was the first thing. Second thing was, the most important, the reason that everything's in the condition is because the ones that are
Mhm.
bad
yeah,
have downspouts, like the middle ones, I mean, the doubles that have no downspouts on them, the combination walkways look nice. Cause there's no downspouts.
Yeah.
Whoever has the downspouts, the water just gushes there and wrecks the window wells and the walkway. So what Mike has quoted us, and when we were walking him around, I showed him, one of the dry wells that was in front of Rich's house. I forget Rich's 8, and so 8 and 9 had it done through Heinz Feed, I think, and one of them was complete, one of them wasn't. I'm like, Mike, what do you think about this? Is this a good solution to? And he's like, yes, I'll do that. I said, will you quote that for me? Yes. So part of his quote has probably, if we have 7
There's
walkways, we have 7
It's four downspouts. So I have the quote here.
pairs of downspouts that will move the water away from
Right,
the
he's
building.
gonna extend them out, he's gonna put like a little grate on the top, and then he's gonna
Okay.
put a little stone bed underneath it, but.
And I think that is a huge, that's a huge angle that will keep the whatever work we're having done better, you know what I mean? It'll make it last longer, so.
Okay.
So 7 complete refurbishments. Replacing any bricks that are broken. Putting all new stone underneath, putting all the poly in, grading them properly, cementing them in place. On 7 of them, 7 redos. And then in addition to that, there were 3 that Rich felt, or 4 that Rich came up with that. He felt needed to have downspout extensions to help mitigate future problems.
This year, like next year, we
Right.
need to do a lot
Yeah,
more of them,
yeah.
but there's 4 that like, they're sinking in, it's really horrendous.
Hmm.
Like Lemanges are awful.
So-
There's other ones.
The total price for that quote from Oasis was $12,231. And if we give him the okay on that, he's gonna come and take care of 29, which maybe he would have done anyway. But I think we should get that should be the first thing that he
Yeah.
does. I think.
Oh, I agree, I agree.
So
we
if we-
have money in the budget for this, right?
So we,
Yes.
we're
30,000
we're gonna
between
talk
the
about-
walkways and the window wells.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I have all the
Reserve.
window well pricing, so I wanted to make some budgetary decisions on how we manage all this money. So if we have your blessing on the 12,200, we start off with $30,000 budget for brickwork and the window well retaining walls. We're only gonna be coming in at about 17.5, which is gonna be very helpful to offset some of these other expenses.
I thought we
Well-
said 12,231.
That's-
No, we originally budgeted 30,000 for this
Right,
year to
right.
take care of the brickwork and the window wells.
You see,
What-
there can be some gray area between what's a repair and what's capital. But for instance, the electrical work that was done for Bruce and the Kramers, to me, that's maintenance. That's an operating expense
Okay.
as opposed to,
Well,
Reserve.
It's the
Right.
money
you
we
know
have
what I
to
mean?
spend.
Yeah.
I know, but
Unexpected.
I know, but it just affects the budget differently.
Okay,
Yeah, not to be a nit, but we did already spend $1,100 on Maureen Dinsmore's brick walkway.
Is
Oh, I
it-
The
forgot
one
about
Mullen
that.
did in
Oh, that's good.
January.
that's, so I wanna get into some of these extra expenses, but anyway, just so you know where we're starting from. We're at a starting point with this brick, this is a good start, this takes care of literally, 14 of our units
Mhm.
will be done. 7 complete, rebuilds and 7, optimized. And some of the ones that are optimized have already been fully redone, we're just shoring up the sides with cement. So that gets us almost halfway through the community. So if we're good with the 12,231, how quickly did he say he could actually start?
Like in a week.
So we could give him the approval for this. And then he could start hopefully in a week, and I think the number one thing he should do is take
Yeah.
care of
Great,
29.
yeah.
I'm all for it, but question, what kind of warranty or
Good question.
performance?
Yes, so he's gonna have a
A
one-year
performance
warranty.
clause?
Because I think if you look at what was done last year, you can see that the edges are falling apart, they're
Yeah.
separating in the edges. But he probably didn't know that was like, well, he didn't think that was gonna happen perhaps, but in any event, he's giving us a one-year warranty to labor. 1 year limited warranty only applies to labor. Limited warranty due to reuse of existing red bricks.
Hmm.
Now, I mean, the laborers, that's where the magic is. I mean, a brick is a brick. So I think if the labor, if the brick starts separating, that's not the bricks, it's not the brick's fault,
Mhm.
it's the install's fault. So he is standing behind it for a year. So if
Okay.
we do have a problem,
Mhm.
we have a year for him to come back and take care of it, even though Eamon certainly had some difficulty in getting him back. However, we're going to have more of these to do next year, so that carrot will still be hanging out there for him
Yeah.
next year to
Now,
take care of.
did he discuss, or did we discuss with him how long from beginning to end it'll
Yes.
take him to do the project? I mean, if
He
we
has,
don't-
he said he had 500 or so people. I asked him that question and he has this, he did note that, I think it was about a week. If that's hard to believe. Please allow approximately 7 consecutive business days
Okay,
for a timely completion of proposed estimate. Some projects may take less time, but accounting for 7 days is suggested. That's 7 days, that doesn't include 29, by the way. So maybe we're looking at 2 weeks or so. to
yeah,
get
and
the
weather
whole thing
could
done.
factor into it.
Sure, so that's my guess, couple weeks, good question, Don. So I'm voting to move forward with Oasis.
So you made a motion?
I'm making a motion to
Okay.
move forward with Oasis, I think Rich agrees with me.
Second.
Second. I'm in
Okay.
favor,
All right,
5-0.
so I'm not sure if Heinz Feet has seen this quote. But can you reach out to him and let him know that we want to move forward?
Mhm.
And the first thing we'd like him to do is unit 29.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
right, great.
Eamon, do you have a copy of that? Because I don't see it. I just looked.
I don't have.
Yeah, could we get a copy of that?
I will send that to you.
And then we'll put it up on the contracts for the board.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you want to send us the contract signed, that'd be even better.
Not actually, there's no place to sign it. You know
Oh, you
what?
can just-
You know what? I think there is. I think when he emailed it to me, I think you can approve it through the email. So I'm gonna have to
Okay.
look at. I forwarded it to you, but I might have only forwarded you the contract, not
Correct.
the email.
It's not signed yet.
Send Heinz Feet.
Don, you asked about the extra costs. I think
Oasis.
Richie had included the window wells from Warren. as-
Oh, right.
as the total cost.
Okay, well, that was charged to the $30,000 budget,
Right,
right?
right, exactly. You were looking for a number, and I think Richie gave you more than 12, which was what we're spending on the walkways. And the more than
12,
12 was
231
was
is
the
what he
window, was the window wells too.
Okay.
you know.
So,
Mhm.
but now we can
Okay.
move on to the window wells, because I have the quote on that too from Warren. Again, Rich and I went through all these units. And the ones that we felt really need to be done, there's only 4 that really need to be done this year. And I got Warren to quote on those. It's actually 4 and 4.5, basically 4 complete rebuilds. And one of them that just needs to be straightened up a bit. So that's $5,315. So combined, we're at like,
17 and change.
no, yeah, 17.5. Now, we need to make some decisions on the siding as well. So I'm trying to find out what we really have for a cushion, so we can make some decisions on the siding. The siding issue, Nydia, is that our siding melts on our buildings because of the light reflecting off of our windows. And there's no real fix for it. Gone down this road, made lots of inquiries, done a lot of homework. All we can do is replace the melting siding about every 3 years.
What kind
And
of siding
the
is
worry
that?
is that when we go to replace it in 3 years, is the siding still gonna be available? And if it isn't, we're in big trouble because the siding is all over the community. It's every building, it's various locations. So to find something later to patch it up with, that isn't the exact same siding would be a gigantic eyesore.
Rich, what kind of siding is that? How,
This is vinyl siding, basically.
but there's different types.
Yep, yes, and yes, and you probably know a whole lot more about that than me, but this was approved when the whole envelope of our building was done, I walked into the very end of that project. I asked a bunch of pointed questions and people told me nothing was gonna happen, everything was gonna be fine, no worries, but the siding melts. And it's a natural phenomenon, it happens, and it's very common with astroturf as well. So we really have no choice but to replace it with the exact same siding that's there. Then when they do the repair, it looks great, you can't tell the difference, it's a perfect fit.
Hi, Rich. I have a question on that. Did Warren do that?
Yes, Warren did that, we approved Warren to do it. It was a few $1,000s. I think I'm sure he's already sent you the bill for that.
Yes, I think it's in here. I'm looking. I have 3 windows open.
So
that might
basically,
occur
for retaining
after 3 years again.
every 3 years, there's no point in doing it every year unless they get really bad. And, we have to worry about water getting through it, that it's not protecting the buildings. But it gets really, it starts to warp and bow and looks terrible and it starts separating, so there's gaps between the shingles. So we've decided, we started doing it every year, it'll be much more expensive, so we've been waiting a few years. And then it gets pretty bad and we do it all at once every few years, so it's about, it was about $2,000 in material. And it was about $3,000 in labor, so it was about $5,000 every 3 years to do this. So that's where we are, so we're gonna jump back into this topic in a few moments, but we also have the retaining wall. So the retaining walls from Warren, we've already given him the okay to do it, you guys were made aware. So we're at about $17,500. And I'm trying to see, from a financial standpoint, what we want to do about how much siding we want to get. So I wanted to look and see what our extra costs were that we know about, to try to control our budget a bit. But we knew that we spent, what was the total for the building D garage? Was that like 7,000? Were we just talking?
6,500.
3 and 3, yeah.
6,500. So we had
And maybe a
$30,000.
bit more for
So,
another 500-600.
yeah,
maybe
7
$1,000
grand,
bucks. Yeah.
7 grand.
So we had 30,000 budgeted for the window wells and for the brickwork. We're actually about 12,500. We've now got another 7 that we spent on electrical for building D. So that gets us to about 24,000. What other expenses did we incur? With extra brickwork was 1,100. What other things did we incur that we weren't expecting?
Again, I'll go back and say it's kind of a gray area, the electrical repair, whether that's coming out of the operating budget, whether you can legitimately put that through the reserves. The reserves are the capital expenditure, and it's maybe hard to justify a fix
Right.
as a capital.
Well, it'd be nice not to have
I
to
know.
touch the reserves, so we
Oh, I
can
know.
control our spending to not
Well,
touch the reserves.
But remember, we're already forecasting a deficit in the operating budget this year, because remember late last year,
Yeah, we had,
a lot of higher landscaping costs.
Oh, right.
So probably, I forget what we said, we're probably gonna be 10,000 or so over. So we could be,
10,000 over.
yeah,
Okay, did we also have money already allocated?
but the thing is, if we've gotta do it, we've gotta do it. We'll
No.
find a way to
Right.
pay for it. And that's an accounting issue I can discuss with Nydia and her staff too. What's legitimate in terms of what we can put in reserve.
Well, the goal here is we need to make a purchase of the siding, because we don't know how long it's going to be available. That's the big fear.
Purchase whatever you want.
So the question is how much do we want to buy? We're using about $2,000 worth of siding every time we do the job. Well, that's what it was the last couple of times. we
plus
did it.
labor. Yeah.
Plus labor. So they still make this product. I looked into it. We can still get it. I think it was maybe we want to cover it enough for 3 more go-arounds. That carries us for 9 years. That's about $6,000 in expenses we were not counting on
You need to buy it all right now.
to buy it now
Yeah.
while
You know,
we can get it.
Before we go out and buy it, let's step back for a moment. I just popped out and showed Rich Young the side of my house that was replaced a month ago, the melted shingles that were replaced a month ago, maybe even less. Well, they're all melted again,
Just as bad.
just
In a
as
month?
bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look for yourself. So it sort of begs the question, are we sort of throwing good money after bad here?
I think you just have to keep doing it. What I mean,
I know, but they're gonna wait another 3 years? every
Well,
month
you
for a
know,
month?
Rich says it doesn't bother him. He looks, I guess he's saying it looks like an aged New England cheater.
I'm just not looking at it the way you
Steve
guys
Shingle.
do. I'm looking at it. You know what bothers me when I have to walk down the walkway every day? I must be looking down and you guys are looking up, because I walk in
The
and looking
walkways
down,
bother
and
you.
this walkway is driving me crazy, and
I want granite walkways.
yeah, but when I was looking at what you guys are showing me with the melting, and I'm like, yeah, that's concerning if it's like, to me, if it's water's getting, like you said, if it's shrinking and it's getting out of shape where water's getting in, but visually, I don't even see it. Maybe my eyesight's
maybe
bad
it's another
too.
way, like in some areas, it's much worse than others.
Yeah, and it's priorities. Walkways that are all messed up in the winter, they ice over, they've become a safety problem.
True,
Right.
Window wells, you can end up with water in your basement.
right.
Well,
This is,
yeah, a lot of things, you get all the earth up above, can start falling into the window. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
holding
it
up
gets
the
real-
grass.
It gets real bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a,
this is an aesthetic problem. I don't
well,
think,
not completely, but. You do behind it. And then, so it'd have to permeate the
Moisture barrier.
tiebacks, so
Mhm.
I think it's just part of
Maintenance.
keeping your property nice. I mean,
And there isn't another shingle that looks the same that doesn't do that. I mean, you know what I mean? It's been a problem for
There
a long
are-
time. I would think that
Yeah.
they may have.
Nydia has
solve the
been very
problem.
much involved in this on another piece of property that I have, and they're in the middle of this project, or getting started with this project, hopefully. And I think they use a shingle that's very rigid and heavy. It's not like a thin little piece of plastic. And I think it holds its color, and I think it holds its shape, and it doesn't have these types of problems, as I
Those are
understand
hollow.
it.
It's called Everlast.
But I don't think you can't just piecemeal it in here and here and here. You'd
No.
have to do the whole side of the building.
Yeah.
So I think when the time comes that we have to do this project again, however long that's gonna be, that could be 20 years from now, honestly. Then they're gonna have to, there'll hopefully be better products that we can use, but a bad decision was made to use the products that we were using. And I don't think I don't think it's worth starting the entire buildings over again at this point. I think we have.
No,
to
no,
look at-
I thought maybe you could
We haven't
flip it
paid for the ones that
instead
we
of
got
this.
now.
stuff.
Yeah, unless Nydia knows of something, but I research it, and if you want it to look correct, it really does seem seamless when they do it. It matches.
Oh, yeah.
These haven't been really fading. But we have the problem of how much to buy and where we're going to keep it.
Again, I know nothing about this subject whatsoever, but what about, is there some type of reflective material that could be put on the glass
There is.
that shines?
I looked
onto
into
it.
And melts?
I looked into it. They do make a product that you can put on your windows that will curb the reflection off the windows onto the siding. I got some samples of it because, again, this is a big problem with AstroTurf too. People have, AstroTurf is melting up.
Yeah.
And they have to start replacing their AstroTurf. So same problem. They know exactly what the cause is. So I picked up some of this stuff. The first problem is it looks pretty bad on your window. It's like putting a black sheet. It's like a perforated piece of plastic. And it only lasts a few years and you got to put it on again. And it's not something we're going to be putting on ourselves. You have to hire somebody to come in and run it out over your windows. I put it on my window. And I was immediately scorned by my wife, who said, "There is no way that's staying on the window."
Can I ask a
I
question?
took some pictures of it too. I have some pictures of it, so if you wanted to see what it looked
No,
like.
just trying to look for other solutions.
I think that's a good question. I don't know, I think everybody's windows, unless someone's done a remodel, are pretty
What's going
old.
on here?
Yeah.
Mine don't
Those
work that well.
fixed.
Right.
Okay.
If I was to, I'm not gonna replace them because I'm cheap, but if I was to replace them, would that new window material not melt the
it can still happen with the new window.
Okay,
It's
that's-
happening.
that's my
Originally, what, the
Umbrellas.
original thing was, well, as the windows lose,
Umbrellas.
there's a barrier between the
Yes.
double panes of glass.
Yes.
As the
People
barrier
have a pool
becomes
with-
compromised, the windows can bow a little bit, and that bowing can reflect the light. It kind of curves it in. So it's only happening where you've got a window that's on a 90-degree angle to a wall.
Gotcha.
If
So
you're really
theoretically-
interested, Google Videra Hotel in Las Vegas and the death ray,
So to
VDARA.
so to answer your question, it may or may not help. It may help in some instances
Okay,
and
well.
not in others.
Yeah.
Depends on the layout. But in any event, if you really want to see what this thing look like on the window, I can share that with you at another
But
time.
we
been
don't
through
need to
this.
decide today whether or not to buy additional material, do we?
I'd like to decide today because I need to get it while we can.
Well, do you think it's gonna be done by August?
I have no idea. If you want to wait a few months,
No,
I suppose we can,
I just trying to. And you wanted to buy enough for what, 9 years, you said,
which would be 3 treatments,
3
basically.
treatments? At $2,000 a piece?
So $6,000.
labor.
In material.
I may be
but,
able to
yeah,
get-
not gonna be the
To
labor.
them, even though it's a lot of material to us, it's not enough to get, I don't think we're gonna get any kind of a discount because of that
No,
quantity.
no,
And we know where we store it.
I don't know where we're gonna store it. I can't store it. I don't have any place to, Kevin was gracious enough to let us use the rafters in his garage,
Mhm.
but we're talking about 24 boxes here.
Yeah.
No, 24 boxes.
Yeah, we had 8.
I would think a garage
Well,
would be
why
an
don't-
ideal place to keep.
We're talking
it.
about, these boxes are probably 5 feet tall
Yeah.
and maybe 6 inches square.
I mean, if you have nothing, I have nothing up in the.
I have
rafters.
nothing either.
It
I would go
it
with-
fits, but not, I don't think I could do that many. But,
Right.
We had 8 up there and that
But if
was
you had
fine.
4 or 5 people doing it, you could do
If
it.
we could probably find some volunteers that would
Mhm.
let us
I could
store
do it.
it.
I have a little thing over in the garage.
You wouldn't be able to do with your garage because you don't have.
I
the
don't have a
rafters.
loft.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, you gotta be the,
Rafters.
yeah,
I think
the
it's just an open ceiling.
It's open, but you've got beams across. you
Right,
know,
so we just threw them up.
And there's a
over the
little
beam.
ladder on the side. Put them up
Is there a
there.
ladder?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a ladder, it's like a wooden thing that's built within the studs, I think. It's
Uh,
little steps.
I'm assuming we can find a place. to
Yeah,
put
I mean,
it.
I'm thinking it's
I'm less concerned about that.
I
but
noticed
don't
it. I didn't
know.
use it.
Pay as you go type expense, meaning you procure the material as you need them. We look at it during budget time.
What if we can't get it? What are we gonna do then? Let it all go?
By Everlast, I don't know.
Then you have to replace the entire side of a building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
you have to do a
one
whole
side
wall.
with shingle than another.
I'd say that the Widows Walk clubhouse looks exactly the same as this. You know, in other words, it's not unique to
no,
our
it's
property.
very, it's
here.
very
Do you have
common.
any thoughts on this, Nydia? Because you've been, I think you've been fairly involved in this kind of thing.
I have one property that, I mean, it ends up being a little expensive, but they put it in storage.
Well, not so much where they're putting it, the actual approach. I
So you
mean,
do it.
I think if we're talking about $5,000 every 3 years, I can't imagine what it would cost to
Yeah.
reside a building.
So the de minimis amount, I would go ahead. and-
Decided with, I mean, Everlast, it could,
Thank you.
Yeah.
one wall,
Okay.
pretty extensive, would probably cost you about 18,000. I have one property right now in Hingham that is doing like one of those walls per building, per unit.
For 18 grand?
And leaving the others intact. I mean, there are windows that have a fiberglass, but that means you would have to change the windows.
Oh, and these areas that we're talking about are on every building in various locations, so it isn't like
And it's always the same ones though, right?
it's gonna happen in the
That's-
same areas
Yeah.
every single time, right?
Yeah.
But you'd have to start doing the whole wall.
But if it lasts a month, what have we really accomplished?
Well, I don't know that that's the case everywhere.
Well,
The other thing that you might help is if you have a screen,
yeah,
the
Mhm.
screen may
Yeah,
also.
screens would do it if you put a
Having a
screen
screen there
on.
may help a little bit, because it's sort of like a perforated thing, which might.
Yeah,
help with
it's not that sliding glass door that's causing it.
Oh, it's not.
It's the window above on the
Oh,
second
okay.
floor.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not gonna matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so to me, $5,000 every 3 years is a
Yeah.
whole lot cheaper than doing it, so.
All right. I'll
And
go
I
along
just
with
don't know
it.
how long they're gonna make the material.
Alright.
it is a popular material, it is a
Okay.
popular color.
If we can find a place to store it, fine.
I move that we spend 5,000, did you say 5 or 6?
It would be
6,000, up to
$6,000.
$6,000.
Okay,
And I'll
6 grand.
second it.
okay.
Kevin, yay and nay?
Up to $6,000.
Does it have to be unanimous?
No.
No?
I disagree, but
Okay.
I'll store it if it,
I will.
if you need some ways to store it, but I just don't. see
That's
the-
your penalty for voting no.
Exactly.
I'm gonna put it,
All
we
right.
vote to put it in your place.
Did you want to cast a vote on that?
I did.
He
said
said
yes.
yay.
So
Okay,
every
all right.
3 years, it'll cost us $5,000.
If we replace it every 3 years, now we maybe decide you want to wait 4 years on the next one, if you know, based on what it looks like, or you might want to just do less
Okay.
of an area and not do all of it.
6,000, up to 6.
Up to 6.
He did all of it, like every area that we had that was melted. A lot of it was on the back decks too. We had it on our back deck, and it's kind of an eyesore. It looks like
That was
crap on the
item
back.
number 12, by the way, we jumped down to that.
I think
Yeah.
that, you know, these units are all, well, you know, worth over $1 million. I think it's just keeping your place
Yeah.
looking proper.
Have you checked yours lately? Your deck, is it still looking good?
I'm gonna look afterwards.
Okay. All right, no, just curious.
But,
Okay, fine, voted 4-1.
okay,
Um,
all right, so that takes care of the retaining
in
walls,
opposition,
and we are 12,000, so the 12,000 that were under, they were under budget on the
no,
on the
might as
budget
well
is
take it.
helpful. It'll help. We're still gonna be over, obviously, but I guess we'll have to address
Yeah.
that in September.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have to do some financial jiggering, but
All right, what did we have in the budget for tree trimming?
I think 5,000.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought I just saw,
We're on item number 10, right?
that's, what's this, Ralph? That number that I have circled.
Oh, excuse me, 7,500. We increased it this year because we didn't do anything
Okay.
last year.
Okay, fantastic.
7,500.
So
I
will defer to
Just
Kevin
looked at
on
it
that.
today.
I was just gonna double check that.
Because
Kevin,
one of the
so-
vendors was asking me, how much you got in your budget? And I go,
Okay,
I said, I don't know, 4,000.
And the price came in to 39.
but we know, you know, we did that walkthrough, Kevin and I did this walkthrough, and I couldn't believe how much tree work really needs to be done.
Oh, it's been accumulated.
I didn't realize, and we've
We
got
gotta do it
a
like
lot of
every-
dead
every
trees
few
right
years,
next to
yeah.
this building, as a matter of fact, the one on the opposite side of this building is all infested with bugs.
Yeah.
There's
I don't
dead,
think anything's
completely
been
dead
spent-
trees, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yes,
defer
I've
to you on
been-
the.
Is this
I do know that
where
we have
we are
Hanson
now?
Creek and
We
they
are
have
now
big-
on-
big
on,
trucks
tree
right down the
trimming.
Roadway.
All right, so,
Trimming way high and yeah. It's been done before.
$7,500 budget, that's good to know.
That's our last month when you were absent, Kevin, in your absence, that we approved 2,500 to
I thought we did. Let's look at the meeting minutes. I thought we
So,
approved
to
this.
Brendan. And then,
Okay.
and then we were gonna do 3,500.
yeah, so
In the
this
fall.
is all, anything you ever wanted to know, what I know
Okay.
about tree trimming.
Wow.
Now, well, I talked to a few guys and I got Brendan's contract.
Jeez.
Oh,
And,
The proposal. it was
Proposal, that's right.
2,500 and 3,500,
correct.
right.
And,
budget.
and there was another
Yeah.
guy that I
Under.
talked to, Hanson Tree.
Big outfit.
He was the guy I gave you the thing from last time.
He was
when
just
I
out
was here.
yesterday,
They
right?
used to be our.
No, that was Walnut.
Oh, yeah, well, you used to do our landscape.
We did. Yeah.
And he, I never heard back from him. And then I went away a couple times, so I never really reached out. I was wondering, Aiden, did you ever hear back from Hanson Tree? Because I think you were the one that gave us his name.
I'm the one who set up an appointment with Hanson.
Did you ever hear back from him?
No, I can check. I can email them if what happened to their visit or something like that.
Yeah, he was, I mean, he was a good guy. He was very knowledgeable and, but I never heard back. I said I went away a couple times. and I-
Austin.
Austin, yes, Austin Sousa.
Uh,
Could you call Walnut Tree too? Irene has
I
that.
did. I talked to Walnut Tree
Oh, you
yesterday.
did? Okay.
Yeah. And he's coming, so the short answer is, I spoke to 3 guys. I have a proposal from one. And Walnut Tree is coming on Saturday. He's coming back because he wants to go around and do a little more. So I don't have he's the one who asked me what our budget is. So
Mhm.
I'm sure it's gonna be $4,000, whatever he wants to do. No, I mean, he's got a good, He's gonna, take down $4,000 worth of trees. And so essentially, the whole thing is, they'll take the trees down now.
Down being wide.
They do the trimming in the winter,
Right.
and they'll do minor trimming, dead branches, all that stuff they'll do now. So that's what Brendan is, and that's what
That seemed to make sense.
Walnut was proposing.
And do we still want to take down Leslie's tree now that she's moving?
That's the big question. I'd
Oh,
like to
that's
spend, I'd
interesting.
like to
She's
spend a
moving
couple
some.
minutes on that. But, so the,
Do you want to set this up for Nydia and her staff? Are they aware of the controversy, if you will, that we're having?
so,
over a particular-
okay, so quickly, because I have told this to some of these guys.
Okay,
We have these crabapple trees in front of many of the units. And in building E, there is only one left. The other unit owners had them taken down themselves.
That's crabapple?
That's what they are. That's what they're called, that there's no apples on them,
They're
so I don't
very messy,
understand, they're
very messy.
berries. But they call them, everybody calls them crabapple trees, so who am I to argue? So the one unit that has one left. So the tree has been pruned and trimmed, that it's out over the walkway. And the neighbor next door has to walk through these berries. And she doesn't like it. And she's made that very clear to, I know, me and Rich and probably anybody else who would listen.
oh, yeah, me too.
It's berries, it's bird food.
Yeah, and the bird poop.
Right.
And which comes along with it. So so I went to Kennedy Country Gardens. You want to spend the time on that one, on the,
You've got the floor, whatever you like.
okay. Well, so essentially that's what it is. So we have $2,500 from
Brendan, yeah.
Brendan. He's got 5, I think it's 6 actually, but on his proposal, which you all have a copy of this. The ones that he wants to take down, I've kind of laid them out on the second page, what the 5 or 6 are. One of the one that he didn't put on there was the one next to the light pole to the left, when you get down to the circle, like at the end of McHugh's driveway.
Yeah,
What I think happened when they were digging, remember you all remember, the digging to fix that light?
yes.
I
yeah.
think they
Disturb the roots.
They killed the tree.
Yeah,
And it's dying. So that one, but he looked at that and he just said, yeah, that's easy, we can take that down. So, so it's the maple in front of, Marshman. And, now this guy that came through from Walnut said, yeah, you can take it down, but I don't see it as a big problem right now.
The one with all the roots next to the garage?
Yeah, but the other 2 guys, the guy from, Hanson and Brendan both said, yeah, that should come down. And didn't see it as a big problem. It's blocking the sun of the
you grow,
other
grow
ones.
more grass if you take it down.
And the roots are like right up. Oh, you saw it when they had to cut the roots to get in there,
Yeah.
right? With the, they must all be pushing against that garage. I don't know.
Now,
if
will they
that's-
do stump grinding if they take the trees
This
down?
guy, Brendan will grind all the stumps,
Mhm.
but he doesn't take away all the
Mulch.
chips and whatever is less. I've not really seen a stump grinding to know
Mm.
exactly what's there. But he's not gonna take that away. And with all of these, we gotta plant grass, back to your point.
Right.
We'll have to seed it and do something. The other guy, Walnut does not grind the stumps. They will cut them down as low as they can with a chainsaw.
Ground level.
Yeah. And the other one is the cherry tree behind unit 20 and 21's garages next
Pat and
to
Pam
Healy,
Healy, yeah.
next to Healy's
Oh, yeah.
house, behind that garage there.
That's a problem.
It's
hitting-
got all ants in it, it's dying.
It's hitting their side of their garage.
Well,
We
it-
chatted with him about, he knows. it's
Yeah,
there.
I've talked to him
Yeah.
about it. He knows it's coming down. And there's a dead pine at the very end between 33 and 34 garage is the
Mhm.
one that you'd walk into if you just went right through the circle.
Yeah.
And then Leslie's is the one over front. It's right back behind that parking space. There's just a dead.
Right, right.
Kevin,
Right.
can
I was just looking
you
at
go
that.
back to the crabapple,
Yeah.
so the one in front of Leslie's and the,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna do that. I was gonna do that at the end.
okay,
'cause
cause
that's
I think there's others of that type on the campus.
all over the place.
Oh, I thought you said there was only one.
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, I
No,
misunderstood.
no, they're all
Okay,
over the
yeah.
place. And then there's 2 trees behind the mailbox in a circle. And there's one is a maple that's right up against a lippo tree, which is 2 of them right out there. They're kind of next to each other and the maple's just small and it's got ants in it.
That's
and
okay.
They're gonna take that down, and there's another one that just looks like a long trunk with leaves way up top. We're gonna take that one down.
This
And
is all from Brendan recommendation.
Brendan's
Right.
particularly, this other guy from Walnut he was less aggressive about taking them down. Well, there's nothing bad about it, but looks silly, and
Mhm.
he was more with the aesthetics, which we can get into about a couple others, and then the other thing we have to do is get dig safe in. That's
Yeah.
our responsibility.
That's our
That's
responsibility
according to Brendan.
for the whole community. They have to go through, or
Well, just.
Well,
the
for these
designated
trees, for these
no,
trees.
just for the designated trees.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
So
sure.
that's, we gotta decide
I
which
think that's
ones.
free. I don't think there's a cost. for
No,
it.
No, it's not.
We'd have to go through and like paint an X on it.
Right.
Yeah.
identify-
Yeah, those are pretty much the ones that
That's a lot of work.
he's gonna take down, and he's gonna do some trimming. Again, just the big dead branches, mostly going down the road, all
And that's all for the 2,500?
that's 25.
That's a
I
good
think
deal.
that's-
I couldn't
One
believe-
day-
him and I, when we were walking, we thought
Yeah.
like, this is gonna be 10 grand,
Yeah,
15
yeah.
grand.
Does he want to
And
get paid in
I couldn't,
cash?
I couldn't believe, I couldn't believe his price, and he pretty much made it clear, like, you know,
Pokemon cards.
his prices, he kind of told us his prices were like dirt cheap, it sure seems that way.
Yeah.
This guy
He's-
insured or what?
he says-
We do need to get a copy of his COI.
Well, he came to us through Aiden. So
Okay,
I'm-
so he's probably on the
Oh.
approved list.
Yeah,
Have you, Eamon, have you used Brandon's tree quite a bit?
Brendan's tree service?
Brandon,
Brendan's
right?
tree, Brendan's tree
Yeah,
service.
Yeah,
Oh, it is Brandon.
Brendan.
Oh, Brandon.
he's
Yeah,
a-
it is Brandon.
Brendan.
He's on our list of the vendor that we've used before. Walnut is 2, and then there's Maltby, Maltby, that if you want another bid.
I don't want another bid. And Hanson, like I said, we'll see if he comes back with anything else
Maybe they
we
don't have-
want.
I think the
Don't have
difference is this
interest.
guy, Brendan does all the work.
He's
Hanson's got people that do the work.
He's up in the tree, yeah, like the
Yeah.
guy who came yesterday, he's not the guy who cuts him down.
Yeah, I think
The
that's.
same with
that's
this,
right.
same with this kid, Austin, who is very knowledgeable and a very nice guy, but he's not the guy climbing the tree, yeah.
And Brendan seems to know his craft.
He does,
Mhm.
so that's that, so the tree that I had was in front of unit 36. I didn't write a lot about that because I didn't know where all
Right,
this was
yeah.
going. I had Kennedy, so I went to Kennedy Country Gardens to see what we can get to replace it. And this is I should have put these on my computer, but I
is
wasn't that
That
smart.
may be what they said, but is that something you gotta go through the Pharisees to?
No, we own that.
I
Front
Well,
of
what I
house.
think we were going to do was give them, we're
Kurt,
gonna come up with
next
several
week,
options, we're gonna let Parrot.
Here's some
Give them a
options.
courtesy.
Sorry.
Give them a courtesy, but if.
The
if
prices,
We still wanna move forward with it.
these are the ones I was gonna give the
Yeah,
Harris's.
that's the question.
They do not have the prices on them, but they're all about $300 or $400.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's the bigger question though, is it a moot point if Leslie moves?
Well, that's it. So that was my thought, was I'd go to Paris and say, you can pick one of these.
They can
Like I
get
said,
it
the
big,
prices
though.
are on the back of those, Rich,
Probably
but
make
not on the,
They can get
the
pretty
other
big
ones.
though.
They can.
The Japanese-
These-
maybe
some
Japanese
of them
maples
the
will get-
Japanese holly will go 8 or 9 feet tall. The other ones will go up. My understanding was he wants it for privacy.
Yeah.
But
Right now, he's got privacy.
he's got a lot of privacy. So
doing a lot of
don't
pri-
mix, don't
he's
mix
doing a
them
lot
up.
of
They're the
private
same
things.
thing.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
Not gonna be the one to do that.
Yeah, and
maybe we should leave him and have his privacy. for
I
a
think
while.
if nobody's complaining anymore, I think we should.
well, that's the other thing. So,
Maybe-
well, it should be trimmed.
Right.
And this is the difference. So the guy from Kennedy Country Gardens was here this morning.
Really?
And who walked me through all these trees over there, and he came by, because I wanted to show him the spot, could we do it? He said, yeah, all these will work. And I said, so what would it, take it down or trim it? What's the pros and cons? He said, take it down, obviously it's gone, and you replace it with something that doesn't need a lot of maintenance. But trimming that, every time you trim it, that stimulates growth.
Why doesn't it have to wear hair now?
And, so,
I guess that makes sense.
yeah, you know what I mean? So he said you're gonna be trimming it every couple of years. Well, obviously that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Which is why it's,
I think if we
but we
replace that
did
tree,
trim it a few years ago. Hanson's,
It's been a while.
who was it?
I remember
Hanson Tree was here and they did. That's when he said I left
the
and
bigger issues
Screwed it
are
all.
his
Reason I think
arborvitae
that-
out back.
if we do
Concrete.
take it down, it'll give, in addition to replacing it, perhaps the Paris will have something else that, there'll be some other complaint that they have. and
Oh,
to
you
get
did
around.
something that we didn't want to do.
Right, so now they want us to do something else.
Yeah.
So I think it would, it would just perpetuate.
I would trim it.
there's nobody else in the building that I'm aware of that
It's complaining.
cares.
No, no one cares.
Well, then Paris would be happy then.
I personally think it's too close to the buildings.
Oh, it's
and
really-
I would
it
take
is.
it, I don't, if I'm not gonna have an argument with the Paris about it, but if it was me, I would agree with
Well-
Leslie, get that thing out of there, plant a different
Yeah.
one. But if she's gone, I say trim it so that it's not as close to the house. You don't want it in the gutters and all that stuff.
Trim the hell out of it.
Yeah, trim it, make it look
Yeah,
smaller.
I mean, it's away from the house. I mean, Nate and I used to trim it, but we couldn't get up
Yeah,
to
I
the top,
think
but all the
we can save a little
branches.
money and nobody's, and who knows what it'll morph into if we take it
I
down.
vote to trim it.
Trim.
Sometimes, what's the old expression? You'd rather be right than president. And if we say, okay, the right thing to do is take it down,
Yeah.
well, we're just gonna create a
Yeah.
controversy.
Right.
I say trim it.
Unnecessarily, Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
that
we
way-
know he's
that
not
way-
gonna be happy about taking it down. He wants to leave it there.
There
Yeah,
you go.
So
The question before us is, do we go with Brendan or do we wait for Hanson?
Yeah,
Or-
Hanson, yeah,
Or
I think
Walnut,
we're gonna
rather,
do,
Walnut.
wait till Walnut gives us their.
what's that thing about green
Estimates.
bananas?
I like Brendan.
Don't buy green bananas.
We met him, we
Yeah.
walked with him. The guy,
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
not,
imagine.
it's not free to,
In your
do
absence,
stump
last,
plantings either. It's like 800, like it's.
Yeah,
it's-
he's gonna
It's
include-
extra dough. That's
in your
included, that's
absence,
that's-
we
unbelievable.
approved it
We should
anyway
do
last
that.
month.
Now, we would have to take a wheelbarrow, fill it with the thing and just put it out back somewhere.
I'll do it. I'll get Sal's wheelbarrow.
Well,
And just-
get
I
some
got a wheelbarrow.
exercise.
We're
There's
not
gotta be-
dumping
there's
it in
gotta
the
be a
That
place.
might cause some controversy in itself.
Can't dump in the woods. We
You
can't
can't.
throw it in the back of my pickup truck and take it to the place up the street.
I
I'll dump it in the woods.
I have a
No,
Subaru. I'll
don't
put,
dump it in the woods. We
a
paid
tarp down,
$50 money to clear that out.
put it in there and take it to, what's that one with the big
Go
windmill?
green. Go
Yeah,
green.
so-
On the street, I know, it's just.
Right.
All right, I'll help you shovel it in.
All right,
But anyways, sorry.
So I
All right,
guess,
so we have-
I
so
guess
that's
the
what-
motion is,
yeah,
the
motion.
motion is, can we move
Brendan,
forward? with
I
that?
like
And
Brendan.
so my other
Yeah.
thought on this, not for now, not for today, but we can't keep taking down trees without replacing them.
Yeah. If we
And I'm
want
not
to,
saying in the same spot, so I talked to the guy, at Kennedy Country Gardens again, and there's many other people who will do this. Do you come and, do an do a, what's it?
a landscape architect.
Yeah,
thing.
not even that formal, but if you got some
Evaluation.
trees, so this guy from Walnut, like the things that he really had a case of the ass about was these pine trees, the one in front of your house.
Yeah.
What the hell is that doing there?
Yeah.
The one in between the garages and building D, there's this skinny.
Yeah.
He said you got, even at the end, in the guy from Kennedy Country Gardens, you got those two nice trees. Why do you have that freaking pine tree in the circle?
I would go ahead and take there's only 8, as I can take a quick look.
Yeah,
at it.
there's,
I would not even consider putting anything in this year.
no, not,
No,
But
I'm
we
just
need
saying
a,
is
we need a
need-
long-term
We
plan.
need
Right.
a long-term plan. We can't just.
one
keep
step,
taking
but
down
one
trees.
bite at a time.
Yeah.
And the bite is to, I think, approve the $2,500, have that done. And then 3,500 in the fall is provided we like
Well, I mean, you know, after, and we can do that after October,
Right,
so,
right.
What's
I'm
in
in favor
what's in
of
the
that.
fall?
It's
The-
$3,500 where you can do other work that you can't do
trimming
right
all
now.
all those crabapple trees should be
Right.
trimmed.
Yeah, I guess they can only do certain things in the heat of the summer that, you know, where you damage the trees.
But as
Kevin-
I understood, the 2,500, they come in
Brendan?
for a day, whatever they get
That's
done
what he
in the
said,
day.
that's pretty much what it is, it's a day, what,
Yeah,
You
I like
you
it.
can move forward with this, you
Yeah.
can take this responsibility
Oh.
on, working with him,
Yeah.
getting it done.
So Kevin's made a motion
Yeah,
to engage Brennan Tree Service
yeah.
for a cost of $2,500
Second,
to do all the detailed work described in
Right,
his memo. of
Yeah,
July
and we'll,
3,500.
and where the
And
20
unit,
in the
yeah.
fall.
in unit,
$6,000.
what was I gonna
instead
say?
of 1,500 to play with, which will help for the other part of the budget.
So
Yeah.
units,
Who would have-
36 is not coming down, he will
Right.
trim it,
Heavy duty trimming.
and that's in the off season, that's not happening now.
right.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Okay,
Ayes have it.
I-
Well, excellent analysis,
yeah,
Kevin.
very good. Good
You're,
work.
you're gonna be an arborist.
I know the names of like 3 trees now.
Damon, do we have that contract?
I doubt it. He told me he was trying to get it to you and had no idea who to send it to. He said everything from Danielle, he never got a response, and he didn't know.
Well,
who else.
if he sends it to Danielle, it's automatically forwarded to me and I don't have it.
Well, I don't know if he sent it. He asked me who to give it to. I just said, give it to me, because I didn't know either.
Okay.
I can send you a copy of it. I have the, a copy of the carbon, or do you want the original carbon copy?
As long as we can see it so we can upload it, because I want to make sure that all the contracts are on the
All
board.
right, so I just send it into that
Yeah.
email address that I've never used.
Situate Country Club at.
All right, I'll find it.
Good,
Yeah.
all right.
So the last thing I think we have on our agenda is just the declarative judgment
Yeah.
and the potential change to the condo docs. That's how you sent out this morning.
Yeah.
But it still seems like we still need to change the bylaws by removing that, that clause.
Yeah, then the question is, do we have a clean copy of the bylaws or just what's? Because they're actually recorded with the registry of deeds
Right,
too.
it's just strictly that one paragraph, right? You
Right,
basically
well-
just take it out
That's
and we just
that's
put like,
kind of what I was trying to do with the shortcut.
we'd replace it, we'd just say none next to it. Basically,
Right, and maybe just record that page.
I don't know what's required, but that could be.
That was, so when I asked you this before, although maybe my question wasn't clear, because it's not clear to me. You know, was about, do we have to go through all this and have a vote and all that stuff? And I thought you said we just kind of tack this
Right,
thing on the
right.
back of the bylaws,
That was
and
my,
that's,
my shortcut, if you
Yeah,
will.
I
was-
can't imagine that's the way to.
Well, I mean, because you've got the order of judgment.
yeah,
Which has already been recorded at the registry of deeds. And the memo I wrote was just referencing that. And I would just attach this to the bylaws, basically.
but if somebody, this was my email to you, so if
Yeah.
somebody, if I'm buying this place and. Who knows, I guess your realtor goes and gets the bylaws and the deeds and they give it to you, and of course, nobody
I saw
reads
a
it.
person.
But if somebody actually did, would they read that and not know
That is Wilson, I
that
forgot it was. Wilson.
if they read
She sends stuff to the.
20,
She
50
has
more
multiple
pages,
emails,
they're
it's
gonna
the high
find
seat
this.
when you want.
I don't know, that's my question, I
Whether this
don't
is,
want it to look sneaky.
whether
you
it's
know?
best described as the quick and easy way.
Yeah,
I bet that you can take that entire thing with an app online, and it would convert the whole thing to a Word document, and then you've got it in a Word document.
Well, that's basically my question.
If we don't have it, we may have to, we will have to turn it into a Word document and remove that clause and just put none. And you could even put a reference on it, remove, you know.
That's what we'd have to
remove-
do.
Remove content from such and from the
and
six
if you
twenty-two.
did that, would they have to, would you have to?
Then you have to have it stamped, right? And
No, not to the court,
Or
but it
recorded.
would be recorded at registry. of deeds.
Registry of deeds.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You
Yeah.
get the whole document, you chop out that one section.
Yeah,
You'll have to leave the bullet there next to it that says removed or whatever.
per this
Yeah.
thing in the
And
back.
then, and then it has to get recorded, and then it gets put back on the Heinz Feet website.
And
So it
that's
has
the
to be-
question of where, there must be an original document out there somewhere that we could just take and revise that.
Either that or you just take that one and there's an app that, but Lydia, you probably know that. So we've got the original, we've got the condo bylaws.
Yeah,
And we want to revise, we need to take a section out of it based on some a legal declarative judgment. And we need to record that. But to remove it, we basically need to create a whole new document. Because we
that's
don't,
okay. Some of us, Crystal has Adobe, so if you can send it again to that catch-all email and just address it to Crystal, and tell us the section you want off, we'll take it off and revert it back to you in a Word doc.
okay,
Okay.
I'll leave that to you, because it's really not a big deal. Like she probably deals with that all the time.
Sure.
And we would have to just validate that it's correct and there's been no changes. You know, we gotta get several signatures to prove the old one and the new one.
That said, I still think we should
That
put
looks-
this
Yeah,
on the portal.
The order should be on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
again,
that's
that's the
a-
legal
Yeah,
judgment that is allowing this change to be
driving
made.
the whole thing.
Okay,
all right.
Does that,
To-
Sometimes
does
it's
that
quirky,
become
but
part of the bylaws now that,
no,
not your letter, but the other thing, the declarative judgment?
I would not consider that part of that.
Okay.
The bylaw change is just as we're saying, we're
Right.
just taking that section 7B, I think it is,
Yeah,
and striking it.
that's it.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
It really is. Then it's putting a new date on it and getting it recorded.
I didn't think
And when
any- I didn't think anything
new
was
sales,
simple.
the lawyers,
No,
the
it
banks,
depends.
because the banks want to see that stuff, then the bank
Yeah.
would be able to pull the appropriate stuff. Is there anything else on your end, Nidhi, that you guys want to discuss? I think we've got everything covered on the agenda.
now we gave you an updated work order list. We've been changing how we do it now. I think you'll see that. We put the updates on a section that you actually can see. Before we were putting it in a different section, and I don't know why, because you don't see those notes. So you'll see a difference on the work order list that you get moving forward. And that's about it.
Okay,
So I just a comment, I noticed a lot of these things just say waiting. And when I read them, they're not really waiting.
Yeah, but read the note.
have they been done?
Or
They're
there's
still there.
been, waiting for board approval on McHugh's thing, I mean, we. It's not waiting on, it's waiting on something.
It's waiting on the vendor to come and do it.
Yeah,
Right, there's nothing left for us to do
Yeah.
except Rich is gonna let him know that we wanna move forward and. That's the first priority.
Yeah,
Once you
You
get.
should read the job description, because that's the most up to date. The first sentence or two is the most up to date. We date it, and then we put the comment next to it.
yeah, I guess it's just a status, that it seems like there should be a difference, status.
Yeah,
of
they
it.
don't have as many different as we would want, so
Yeah.
we have to depend on that job description line.
This is good.
Okay, well, thank you guys very much for attending.
Thank you.
you.
Get us all those contracts and the bylaws with the 7B section. If you just sent it to us, I just wrote it down, and we'll start working on that stuff. I just want to make sure you have all your contracts and proposals on your board site.
Okay.
Okay, and I
Thanks, Julia.
just one last point, we typically have our meetings on the fourth Thursday of each month. So if we look at the calendar for the month of August, what does that tell us?
August.
Wow,
28th.
28th is a Thursday.
I will not be here on the 28th. We can do it on the 27th, that would be okay, but I'm going away for 2 weeks.
Tuesday,
on the
Wednesday.
28th.
Right now, I look okay.
Anybody's good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Wednesday works for me.
I'm good either day.
Yay, because I'm going to give this information to Mary Ann, and then she's going to reach out to you guys early next week.
All right, so 2:30 on the 27th?
Yeah, let's aim for that. We'll figure out when, where. Yep, okay. Okay, very good.
Just Nydia, FYI, for that next meeting, I'm not gonna put a budget together yet, but I'm going to put some budget items for the board to be thinking about.
Okay,
If
Just
you
to
want
get
to
all-
copy us on that, because I
Yeah,
don't,
I just said I would, yeah. I'm just saying,
Okay.
get the ball rolling
for
Yeah.
2025,
Because we
26.
have to present to you a draft,
Right,
and I want to make sure, Mary Ann's very good at that, so I want to
Right.
make sure that she works with you on that. And
Because-
then, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna, I think, I can't remember exactly what we did last year, but I think we may have approved it at our September board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the annual meeting for all the unit owners is in mid-October.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have it done at the end of the fiscal
Good
year
point.
to prepare the whole presentation, including the
Mhm.
budget for fiscal year 26.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Ralph, can I reach out to you or Mary Ann with Kathleen once we get a hold of Jeff?
Yeah,
He did return this afternoon and we tried to reach out to him. I'm sure he's gonna call us right away, because he probably has answers that we don't know. You know, obviously, we don't know what they did, so, but he'll make sense of some things for us. And then
Yeah.
just to be sure, you want to go back to cash, correct?
yeah, again, it's been too confusing. There's things that have been accrued that I don't think should be accrued. There's things that should be accrued that haven't been accrued, and it just it distorts more than clarifies our financials on a monthly basis.
Okay, no problem. We're good.
Good.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
very much.
Thank you
very
all.
much, Hans Pete.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Bye now.
Bye. Thank you.